And how the world works. You're running on override. Men build the world that you live in. Oh, okay. Who built that house or apartment you live in? Was it a crew of women? Who designed the metal work? Who put in the floor, the plumbing, the electrical system, the heating? Who put that in?
It wasn't just black men, and y'all need to be doing some more.
The car you drive, was that built by a crew of women? So women are not capable of doing none of those things. No. You're not good at it. And we're given a choice. Excuse me, because we're given a choice, because women are free today, right? Uh-huh. And you're educated, right? Uh-huh. Then why don't we see 51% of the construction workers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the engineers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the plumbers, electricians, military, train operators? Heavy, dangerous work is women. Because when given an opportunity, women segregate themselves into more comfortable positions.
Ding, ding, ding,
Men
ding.
do the dangerous work.
Women are rushing to OnlyFans thinking that it's the new .com, the new real estate, and they're realizing that there is no sustainable way to project this out for over 5 years. So carry your cell phone, and when OnlyFans stops, Subway will be hiring.
Oh my God, Mike!
You see what I said? Shout out to you OnlyFans girls down there in Miami. I told you. When OnlyFans is done, Subway will be hiring. Hope you got your application. And here's your pen. I got a pen for you. Carry your ass down to Subway and fill out an application, because in October, the adult content is a wrap. I said it, and that's what came to pass. So all these new entrepreneurs on OnlyFans, I tried to told you, you didn't want to hurt your godfather.
Who Godfather? Oh, the men
Black
who
women
need
have
you.
been my entire life.
They've been your what?
My enemy.
And what do you do for a living?
A musician and an Uber driver.
What?
I know.
Are you serious? Are you trolling me?
No, I'm not.
Ninja, what? You're dating. Your enemy is your pocketbook.
I know.
Don't come here and talk about black women. Man, see. Man, are you being serious, bro?
I am, but the finances is definitely something.
No. Oh, hell no. Black women today do it. You actually came here to tell me that you dated a black woman, two full doctorates.
I'm a PhD.
And you got your Uber driver and your musician. That's not a problem. If you frame black women as your enemy, and your enemy is your inability to be productive on a serious level.
I'm not afraid to mother a child, but I'm afraid to fail as a wife. And
Thank you. Thank you for being honest. It is far easier to fail as a girlfriend, which I don't want that stigma being say, because why?
Either one is worse than the other. I think let me stop myself from saying that. I do think that being a baby mother is worse than being an ex-wife, but
you said I could mother a child, but I wouldn't want to fail as a marriage. I'm gonna say something. This may be hard to hear. Just because you can feed a child, clothe a child, and maintain a child, that you can raise a child. So many women think that's being a mother. That's not. That's the maintenance of a child. Women, especially in our community, hate being bored more than anything else. And marriage looks boring. If that's not you, fine. I wasn't speaking to you. I'm speaking about women in general.
I was going to say, because that's giving me real Justin LaBoy vibes right now.
I don't know who that is. Is he older than 9?
No, he's absolutely not, sir. You are definitely way wiser.
Fuck your job. Fuck your 6 figures. Fuck your PhD. Screw all that. Forget all that. You know what a man wants?
So cry.
A man wants your respect in front and behind the scenes. He wants your respect when you're out there in the street, out there in the public. He wants you to
I ain't messing with you, Nikki.
him. He wants your respect. So you cannot say you respect your man if he is not your man, if he's not your number one concern, top of mind, everything that you think about doing, not your job, your man, not your friends, your man. Respect is something that men are fine-tuned to look for. And men know when we don't have respect. He wants it in front and behind, in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. Tell me that if women can do these jobs and run the infrastructure, why are you not doing it? Because they pay better. It's easier for
because
women to program.
We can allow men to do it.
You don't have to. Because you don't have to. Okay. Well, okay. So in other words, you benefit off of men doing this. Are you honestly trying to tell me that you think?
Yes.
Are you? No. I said you're not going to talk to me. I meant that shit. Maybe you overtalk your boyfriend. That doesn't work here. Are we clear? Out your head and say we clear. Good. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me, man, but I'm not going to allow you to overtalk me like that. If you're honestly telling me that women can get up to speed and run the infrastructure to the same level of efficiency that men can, I think you are sadly mistaken. But you are free to be sadly mistaken.
Men have no place at all to say how women should and shouldn't.
We have every place. We built the goddamn world you live in.
Oh, all right. See what I mean, bro?
It's this. He's giving them a cold hard dose of reality that, listen, these men that you're chasing are not looking for you, and society lied to you. This is what you need to do. Here's realistic standards, and this is where you really fall in the sexual marketplace. Not what you think that you're a 10. This is where you really fall according to men. And then when the women get mad, he tells them, listen, because every woman's defense is this. Well, I have a lot of guys pursuing me, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't fucking matter. How many guys are getting down on one knee and proposing to you? That's when I just hear crickets all over the place. They have nothing to say, just they know. You know what I'm saying? Like they know that they're not getting guys to commit to them seriously. And I always say it. Man game is being able to attain a woman. Girl game is, can you retain a guy post sex? And when Kevin gives them this uncomfortable reality, can you keep a guy around? And better yet, can you get an engagement? They don't got no answers. And they don't like hearing that because it's the truth. Then he's able to back up what he says with empirical.
Women, of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of all divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Oh, that's what the women do.
Why? Because their
women
husbands are trash, treating them badly.
Okay, now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. Here we go with the same old tropes. Here we go with the same old tropes. Yeah, this is the same shit that's been piped into this. This is the same stuff. This is the This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
Yeah.
Podcast will ask like a girl relatively poppin' or whatever. We'll ask her like, could you date a Foot Locker manager? Mm-hmm. Very rarely do you get a yes.
Right. I interviewed a professor, Dr. Tierson Johnson. He's
hey, Queen.
What is it? University of California.
Hey, love.
Black masculine studies. And the net of it is he is on college campuses, right? And he'll have young college men and young college women in his class. And he asked the question to these women, 19 years old, and they're wanting men at a certain level. And these men in this room with their peers know they can't date them. They don't make enough money. And these women looking over at them like, come back to me when you have $100,000. That wasn't how it was when I was in college.
Right.
This is a recent phenomenon of the last 20 plus years as to where normal average ain't good enough. Everybody has to have a Mercedes, and you have to have a.
Well, how's a woman supposed to get all that when she's standing at home doing?
I started back working out, so I wanted to do something that would be protective for my hair.
How are you supposed to get all that when she babysitting?
If you go to my page, you can see my natural hair out. So I have hair.
Ma'am, you like to work out, don't you know?
Yes, I do. You get my friends over here. They will tell you I just started.
What in the French toast is wrong with women?
High value has nothing to do with morals, religion.
Hey, Mr. Castle.
Completely different.
Hey,
They're high value men who are agnostics, Buddhists,
What's up, Soul Child?
Hindu doesn't. But the real
I'm in
question
Soul
is,
Cry.
what value would you be to a man if you want to be a wife?
I can say yes to that. Earlier, you asking me that question.
I don't have time to play. I really don't. See, what I don't do is I don't continue.
Ain't nobody playing with you, George Jefferson.
Tell me the last relationship where you've been submissive.
The last relationship I've been submissive?
Mm-hmm. Start to finish.
It was a very long time ago.
Okay, what was it?
Like, long time ago.
Okay, I don't know you. When was it?
Probably high school.
Okay, who was he?
My boyfriend of 5 years.
And how old were you when you started?
How was I?
How old were you?
17.
Now he gonna go back.
Last time you acted like a feminine woman was 22.
Oh no, I act like a feminine woman all the time.
No. See how I just did that?
You asked me about
No. Listen. I said, when was the last relationship you were submissive?
Hey, Truly.
Woman is submissive.
Hey, Mr. Castle.
You can't rewrite
that jacket. Is not trying to get married.
Supervisory roles, middle management, upper management, executive management. People are married at that level at a rate of 90%. If you want to move up, you are going to have to get married.
Wow.
Better to do. You can have 10 divorces. It does not matter. But in order to move up, you must be married. It is an unwritten rule, but it is there and it's firm. Men who are unmarried are looked at as unstable. Human beings have evolved to not trust unattached men. And if you think, well, you know, this movement, that movement, all these things are going to change corporate policies.
Look, you weren't raised to be a housewife. And you just said the kind of man that you would want, what he would want is a good housewife. Then he wouldn't want you because you're not one. By your own admission, you're not one.
I wasn't raised to be one.
Which means you're not one.
But I had great influences.
Then if you had such great influences, why someone What you just witnessed was pretty privilege. She's used to getting by on her above average looks, but she's got below average outcomes.
Even my aunties, they're all teaching me like, oh, they're single, by the way. Some of them are even their own child. And they would always teach their daughters. And there was a period where my mom was single as well because she's divorced, but now she's on her second marriage. During the time when single as well, she was teaching me like, oh, don't give yourself completely to a man, you know.
Hold on. I want to be clear what I just said. When your mother was single, she was encouraging you to stay single.
Pretty much, like
Don't give yourself all to a man.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now that she's married, what is she saying? Is she saying the same thing? Or?
Now she's teaching me to stay because I have a boyfriend right now, and she could see potential.
When her mama was single, she was preaching, don't give all yourself to a man. Your mother is projecting her fear, scarcity, and lack about her personal situation onto you.
In my 30s, without a husband, I'm just really angry at her for the lack of education, lack of grooming, and it's really hard to find a partner, and it's really hard to date. in this time and age in Mexico. And she's just being left. I live with her, and I pay 90% of the bills, and she's just starstruck by seeing me struggle so much, and she can't say anything. And I'm finding myself very angry at her.
You have every right to be angry. Your mother chose her life, chose her path. One of the things that nobody's ever tells us is we're not obligated to our families like this. I'm going to say that to other women. A lot of you ladies are going to have to realize this. Many of you are going to be put into this very position where you did not get what you needed early on, so you could be available for your mother later on.
See, men have a sense of urgency. We have to live in reality. This slow, theoretical progression you're talking about, women don't. How about this now? Women just don't typically want to go into science, engineering, technology, and math. It's not because they don't have the brain power. They just don't like the jobs. They don't like the environment.
I think that that's society's fault.
You're out of your French toast mind.
I don't.
No, okay, it's always, no. That's bullshit. That's bullshit because at this point, then women are children. Women are children in your scenario. They're not accountable for anything.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you are learned and if society gears gender roles as strict as it has in this society that we live in.
This is a disease. It is society's fault that women are choosing not to go into careers that sustain society.
Because your choices are an effect of your learned experience.
Putting a man on a pedestal. Have you ever heard about this concept?
Yes,
What do you think?
I agree. I'm like 1,000% agree. And kind of involved with someone right now, and I do the same things like offer him like massages, try to be there for him, fill up his gas tank if he needs, just be there. I know, maybe, but I'm just saying.
I suffered raging jealousy.
How old is this man?
22, we're about the same age.
So, does he want what you want?
Not at the moment. It's basically, it's kind of the same deal, but yeah.
No. See, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I know.
How many children do you have?
3, and 3 baby daddies, and they all gangbang.
So what do you want as an outcome?
I want somebody that's loyal. It's really hard to find loyalty nowadays. You really can't find it at the next corner or none of that. Like these men now.
Hold on. Loyal to what end? Like a husband? What are you talking about?
I want a husband. I want to get married.
What do you do for a living?
I get EDD. Is that, I
don't know what that is.
Unemployment.
Unemployed mother of 3 with 3 baby daddies. You talking about you can't find a man?
Yes. It's I'm pretty sure God, I want somebody that's going to help me. Like, you don't think that I could get that?
It's called Jesus.
You don't think that I can get somebody to help me? You don't think a man is going to love me?
It's called Jesus. You don't worry about, you don't have to ask the guy the kind of money he has because the men you typically date are older and have money.
Yeah. But I think, in general,
but my point is, men your age wouldn't have stand a chance with you because most don't have money. Thank you.
Right. But to each their own, everyone is different. I think that
each is everybody's different. We're more alike than anything else. And the bottom line is this. Would you like to be married one day?
yes.
Okay. Are you going to be submissive and obedient to your husband? There she goes. You can't make this shit up, people. You can't make it up.
Okay.
Why?
Why? Because I'm stingy. I'm stingy with the puss.
Excuse me?
I'm stingy with it. I do not give it up.
Kitten heels got them pressed on a toenail.
You're a baby mama, though, right?
Baby, Never been married, no, but I just
Okay,
don't.
so
I know.
hold on. Let's talk about this though. See, I find it funny that women like yourself, baby mamas, all of a sudden want to get stingy with the puss after you done gave your womb up before a ring. But then you want the high value men to put a ring on it before he gets it?
Nobody never asks for a high value
You
man.
goddamn right, you already
Everybody
did.
don't.
Because
Why
here's
do
the
you
thing.
always throw that in
See, that's what I
people's
mean.
face like that's what they asked for?
Man, you're a used vehicle.
They said a
wanting
man.
Brand new 2021 prices.
Okay.
Why? After reading half of the Bible, and I just rubbed my,
I
got my
value
head
men. Nobody
in the
said
holy
that.
bonnet of salvation, and I was just finished anointing myself with sacred olive oil, and I was, burning Palo Santo and sage, and I got some Catholic incense, and I was on the way walking across water to my bedroom, and then out of the blue, here comes this man,
Bree Love,
and
welcome.
he just came in.
Wow,
He was talking
900,
about
welcome.
Jesus and talking about salvation, and next thing you know, he was touching on my lady parts, and I was getting excited. And I said, Lord, please, Jesus, just give me a sign that this is the man you want for me to have immaculate conception with. And it was just like, it was like the God opened up and said, yes, go ahead and have copulation with him, and I will bless it. I will bless your union. I will bless your womb, and from you will spring forth life. And he did that to me. He just did that to me on purpose. Oh, baby, he had to come over. I just would have got in bed and went to sleep.
Relationships and kind of like dating, because I kind of suck at it. I'm not the best.
Okay.
I've been in a long-term relationship.
You've been
yes,
in one?
well, huh?
You've been in a long-term relationship?
Yes, the longest I was in was 13 years.
And how old are you again?
37.
13 years. Were you married?
No.
Any children?
No.
Were the long-distance relationship, were you guys living in the same city?
No, it wasn't long distance relationship. We were actually living together.
Okay, so before we continue in the video, I just want to acknowledge the fact that she at least admitted that.
I don't think he was ready, to be honest with you, and that's the reason why I left the relationship, because I felt like he was just
What's up, bro?
into being young, shopping, and clubbing. And I was
Them
more
hyenas
serious.
called me.
Oh,
They
see?
out looking for
Same
him.
age.
You don't think he was ready? And what year did you discover that he wasn't ready?
Well, I mean, after 13 years, and there's no
And in what
proposal.
year? What I'm trying to figure out, in what year did you come to the realization that he wasn't ready?
I would say maybe 10 years into the relationship.
You know how crazy that sounds?
It does. I mean, I was in a relationship very young. I was in a relationship from the age of 17. So
Well, Diddy
But you
better
weren't in a
love out.
marriage.
Diddy needs a
Right,
love
and
our
listen, I
channel.
think this is where also, of course, where a lot of women get it twisted. Like, come on now, take her 10 to 13 years to know.
You ladies gonna have to get comfortable answering questions about your poor work history.
Diddy need to
Okay,
like my
I'm open to that.
channel.
I'm
Shit.
saying this because if you want to get a job, a wife is a job. So you're going to go sit down with a prospective employer. You got questions for him. You got standards for him. He's going to ask you, why were you with somebody for 13 years? And you
don't
said he
forget to
wasn't
hit
ready.
that like.
Were you ready?
yeah, definitely I was ready. I
And
mean,
what year?
I would say after the 10-year mark, because I was young. You know, I was more focused on my career, as I still am today.
See, and I was right. She wasn't prepared and she was not looking for marriage, and she did not make that the focus. She said the 10-year mark, she was ready. You know, this is your own doing. It's not on him. But
Well, I hope Didi got her own husband, and Didi got her own, not just Didi, but all these people who's trying to read these women That's on YouTube, which takes time. Hopefully, y'all got enough time for your own man and your own family, or maybe that man is out so much you got all this extra time on your hands. Stop coming for other women when you're working also. You're working also because you're on here. This takes time. Jeez.
But you notice how she led with, oh, he wasn't ready. You know, you got to drag, you got to continue.
I realized that I loved him. I was in love and I was ready to move forward.
It don't matter if it's 10 years or not.
Where did you go to college?
No, I
whatever float, whoever boat, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year. Some people get married within months. People get married within months. They say that's wrong. People get married within years. They say that's wrong. Listen, do what you want to do. I may not believe in staying with somebody that long. If it's going to take you all these years, but that's me. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. If it works for them, it works for them.
go to college actually.
And then what's your career?
I process payroll for a living.
That's not a career.
It's not a career?
The job.
I find it to be a career. I mean, it pays well. I've been doing it for 8
You
years.
can call it what you want.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you paid hourly?
Yeah.
That's a job.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
That little laugh. Oh my God. Women, they do that. You know what I mean? Like you're not really accepting what he's saying. So you, you know, that condescending laugh. That's what that was. Because she's not really accepting what he's saying. But let's continue.
And neither is you.
Because women aggrandize things that are normal. My mother worked in a factory. That wasn't a career.
Like, I don't like them hyenas.
A lot of people
You a damn hyena
but
too.
it wasn't
Shit.
a career.
His job is
when you
standing
say
in the
I'm focused
corner.
on my career, I'm wanting to hear attorney, accountant, physician, something where I want to hear things that require focus.
Well, payroll does require focus.
No, man, that requires
6,000 employees.
Payroll, man, does not require. Okay, if you don't want to.
Godfather.
Are there other women who do payroll who are married?
Of course, everyone.
Then it doesn't preclude marriage. See, if you are a brain surgeon, a cardiac surgeon, or an oncologist, or a neonatal surgeon, somebody who worked long hours, then you could talk about your career being first, because you'd have the money, the prestige, the social gravitas. You gotta know that you have to take some courses for, but it's just a job.
Okay.
So it's nothing to put marriage aside for.
Right. And I understand where he's coming from. I just hope that a lot of women understand. He's not downing her job, because I know a lot of women always say that. The man is not downing her job. He's just explaining to her that that's not a career. It's a job. You can have a job and be married. And a lot of people who have careers are still married as well. So there's no excuse to say, oh, I put my career with your job first, and you know, and that kind of got in the way, and I was not focused on marriage. No, because it's a regular job. You can have a marriage and a regular job. It's not rocket science. But let's continue.
Well, if it's not, then why are women who were payroll? What's your proper title?
Say it again.
What's your proper title?
A payroll officer.
Payroll officer. Then why are female payroll officers married?
Well, a lot of women that I've worked with have met their husbands in college, and then they just pursue
Yeah,
the
but my
relationship. And
point
then
is, why are they married?
I mean, every woman wants to be married. Who wouldn't want to
You
commit?
can be too.
Huh?
You could be too.
If I found the right man that was respectful.
No, man. You're not a wife.
Why? Why do you say that?
Well, because you were with somebody for 13 years and didn't require marriage. That's why.
So you think a woman should require marriage?
Hell yeah. What? If you Wait, what kind of question is that?
That part
You
is
can't
true.
put that all on him because you didn't.
But y'all was shacking up, right?
Yeah, he was shacking up.
You were pretending that you were playing husband and wife, but you didn't get the ring, you didn't get the social credit.
There was a ring, but I didn't really feel like the ring was something that I could mention, because if your mom buys the ring for you and you give it to me, that doesn't count, right?
Well, what kind of woman would be with a man his mama got to buy her a ring?
Oh, okay. There we go. See, Kevin always get him. He always get him. I'm sorry. Out of her own mouth. All goes toward you. It's not all on him. It's on you.
Well, that's why I'm not with him, right? Because that's actually what made me leave him. The fact that his mom.
Hey, everybody. This is me, Lunel, the original bad girl of comedy.
Higher level man, a husband, would not accept a woman who would accept a man whose mama had to buy a ring. So you're not a wife.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
not all for that. You
She
can't
common law marriage, damn it. We
Yes, I
married.
can.
I did my
ma'am,
7 years.
Ma'am, trust me. Everything about you screams not a wife.
Oh my God.
Ma'am, 13 years.
8,000 people watching this. Come on, Kevin.
Ma'am, you lived with somebody for 13 years.
Exactly, truly. So, she's his wife, common law wife. She can still take half at
I sent him this video. Hopefully he's watching so he can be embarrassing himself as well. I'm not a wife because I was with someone for 13 years and didn't require to be married.
Well, that's one thing. Well, you're not a wife. That's just an outcome of it. Were you raised to be a wife?
Well, yeah, actually, I have a mother and father that were married. I was raised with a mother and father that was
No,
married.
no.
Yes.
Were you raised? No, your mother and father were married. Were you raised to be a wife?
I believe I was raised to be a wife.
Okay, if you were raised to be a wife, then how is it that you could accept a man who did not want to marry you? How could you move into a man's house if you didn't have his last name?
It was actually my apartment.
I don't care. Women who are wives don't go away with a man who doesn't change their last name and put a ring on it.
I can agree to that. And that's what a part of my growth was, to realize that, to be honest.
But if you were raised to be a wife, there wouldn't be any growth necessary.
Well, you know what it is? I have to be honest. I'm an enabler. I actually...
Hold on. Agree, don't agree, I don't care. You can raise your daughters all you want to be a wife. That does not mean they're gonna be a good wife. If a woman have ambition in her, her mother could sit her down every day with pigtails and dresses and keep her in that kitchen. A lot of parents raise their kids to do a lot of things. Do they do it? Some do it, some do not. Just because you spending time, make sure when you get a man, you do this, you do that. Next you know that girl doing whatever she want to do. And that go for men also. I'm quite sure whatever y'all men are today, your mother and father wanted something else for you, but you turned around and did other things that was for you. Because nobody know what's for you better than you. So yes, because she was young, she may have the skills of cooking and cleaning and doing all them other things, but that doesn't mean she's going to do it. Just like some men, they raise their boys, to fix things and to work, keep money in their pocket. But how many men ain't got no money in their pocket? How many men can't even turn a light bulb? So, it has to be some boundaries, and you really do have to stop generalizing everything. Certain things are just straight out correct. Certain things is just correct. That's why I like to watch him, because some things he says that's correct, but other things, when you start twisting it, no, absolutely not.
didn't take my concerns and what I wanted in life and put that as a priority. And it takes time sometimes for some women.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No.
No.
You were raised to be a single modern woman. You were raised to be a worker. I mean, you picked a man who was beneath you. He moved into your house 2,000 years ago. Would that work?
2,000 years. We in
So why does it
2020.
work today? Because you got a payroll clerk job?
They ain't had no house.
Payroll officer job?
They ain't had no house then. They was in a master house.
Wow.
That's a fair question.
You're right. I can't even go against what you're saying. Absolutely right.
So why didn't you guys have kids?
Well, I don't want to have kids unless I'm married. And if you don't want to marry me, why would I have a child?
So why were you laying up having sex with this man for 13 years in your house?
Girl, you can't make it up. Oh my God. You can't make it up, y'all. This is crazy. And Kevin don't let up. And look how I'm not having any kids with a man who wouldn't want to marry me. Why would I want to do that? Why would you be sleeping and shacking up with a man if he didn't marry you? Come on, it don't make no sense. But let's continue.
I had a sexual appetite that I wanted to please.
With a lower level man.
Correct.
Could you get a higher level one though?
Of course. Absolutely.
Could you get a higher level man to do more than just have sex with you?
Yes.
You could get a higher level man to marry.
Of course. I'm just not open to relationships because I'm afraid. I feel like sometimes my
Stop. Do you listen to the bullshit that's coming out of your mouth? Because it should make your breath stink. You actually sat here and said that you could get a higher level man. You could get a higher level man to have more than sex with you. You get a higher level man to actually marry you. So you're trying to tell us that you openly accepted a lower level man. For what reason?
I wasn't thinking that way when I was a young girl. But I'm a grown woman now, and it's
what makes you think you can get a higher level man? What higher level man is actively vetting you to become his wife?
I have many actually.
This is the delusion.
What's the delusion? What makes it delusional?
You have many. Excuse me. I'll tell you. You say you have many high-level men vetting you right now to be their wife. Yeah. Most women. Okay. How many?
I'm gonna say about 3.
Uh-huh. How old is the oldest?
45.
How old is the youngest?
He's about 26.
He's not a higher level man.
Well, I mean,
no. See, guys, look at the hearts. Graduated college, 45. How much does a 45-year-old make?
About 150,000.
What does he do for a living?
He's a skyscraper.
There we go. I was wondering when we was gonna get to the skyscraper part. Oh my God, baby, let's continue.
Say again. He does what?
I said he's a skyscraper. That's what I said.
What does that mean?
Well, let's just simplify it. He puts elevators into buildings.
You know, a skyscraper is a building.
What? That's the work he does, sir. That's what he considers himself. That's the job title that he gave, and that's what I'm giving you.
How long have you been seeing this?
About 6 months.
How many children does he have?
2.
Has he been married before?
No.
But he has 2 kids. How many baby mamas?
2.
Right. So he's a skyscraper. 2 kids, 2 different women, and you're in New York?
Yeah.
Making 150, so that's roughly
Yes, I have an
75,000.
answer. Thank you.
Anywhere else? And then a 26-year-old went to college. What does he do for a living?
Well, he joined NYPD, so he's actually in classes for that now, which isn't a lot of money because they make probably about $45 a year.
And how are you calling him a higher level man?
Well, I go with the intelligence and how you treat me. I'm not gonna go by your salary because at the end of the day, I
don't give a shit what you go by. That's not what the world goes by.
Baby, listen, I'm gonna stop it here, you guys. Oh my God, this is too much. This is too much, baby. I was waiting for that skyscraper moment. Oh, she said the man is a skyscraper for a living, baby. You can't make it up. But anyway, listen, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank y'all once again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more. Hit that notification bell.
Where Dee Dee at? Oh, stop it. Do Dee Dee need to stop up on in here? I be thinking they scared of Nicole and stuff. They scared of Cole and Boss Lady. They be scared. Skirt. I just listen to both sides, you know. Oh, Lordy, where's the other one? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Damn it, I be losing stuff.
These men.
Yep.
But why aren't we putting emphasis?
Break it down, because there's a lot to unpack. Use your mind. Never be up.
There's a lot of emphasis on women having children out of wedlock and having
Yep.
babies with these men.
Yep.
But why aren't we putting emphasis on the man?
Because I'm not. Because I'm not. Not this show. We've done that for too long. We're going to have a show where we talk about the women, and you're going to stick to the topic.
Okay. Hold on, baby. Okay. So basically, my criticism is that, well, it's about men. That's the thing. It's honestly about
That's
men.
the problem. That's all y'all ever got to say some shit about is what the men do. And what the one thing you haven't said is what you're looking for, but who are you and why should somebody care?
Because I feel like I'm a woman that I'm ready to submit.
Why didn't you submit to your baby daddy?
Because he didn't want to submit to me. And that's
You submitted to
Red flag. That right there is what you call a red flag.
because he didn't want to submit to me. And that's
you submitted to his seed, and he didn't want to submit to you. You're supposed to submit to him.
I did. He just wasn't ready for what I wanted.
Well, then why'd you have a baby? Why'd you see what y'all have to understand is when y'all decide to have a child for a man, that's it. You might as well be physically married to that man, because as far as the rest of the world, men look at you as free sex.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes,
Too
my
many
question-
single mothers have come on and said the same thing. And you're talking about he wasn't ready to submit to you. None of that would have married if you wouldn't have had none of that would have mattered if you wouldn't have had a baby.
And the thing is, you're right.
But you chose to have a baby.
I
But you
did.
chose.
And I
So why should a man come be stepfather?
because I feel as if a man, if he really cares about me,
Uh-huh.
he would accept what comes with me.
This is what y'all wrote. Telling women that they're the prize. I've asked multiple times, why should a man marry? Why should it? And it's all been about what a man should do for you. Not a goddamn thing out of your mouth other than I'm me. Why?
No, but I want to do right by a man. I want to submit to a man. I want to
What do you bring to the table that's better than a woman with no children?
Oh, Lordy.
my heart. I have a
That is nothing.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
So what is it that
So if you don't want
No
her heart-
children. We don't want you. They don't want me. Single.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
So-
That's your problem. Should have married the baby daddy. That's your problem.
Well, then
right
go
there.
ice
That's your
cold.
problem. What do you want? And when the men say what they want, well, I already got a kid. Your problem. Wait till your daughter's 18 years old and then get back out here and date. See how serious that is?
So I should be single until I'm 40?
You should have been married before you were a mother.
You're right. You're right.
That's the point. That's why that's old wisdom. Marry before you carry. Because when you get here, all the choices are bad. And y'all want good choices after bad decisions. It doesn't work. And it ain't the men's fault.
So when he told me to have this baby and get me pregnant, it ain't his fault.
Nope.
Because I decided to go through with
Yep.
it. You're right. You're right. So I guess, okay, so I give my criticism. So basically, my question for you is what I can do, and you're basically telling me I should just be single. I ain't gonna
You
get
should
no
marry your
man to
child's
love me or
father.
my child.
Well, no, here's the thing. What you have to understand is the men out here
You marry him.
who don't have children don't want to deal with a woman who couldn't submit to her baby daddy. They don't want to deal with baby daddy issues.
That part
They
is
don't
true.
want to pay for another man's child. It's not
Okay.
even how human beings is. If we were still in the animal kingdom, a new man would come in and kill the cubs. That's not how we're wired.
Well, we're not
So,
animals.
instead
We're
of
human
saying-
beings.
You should try to figure out how to stay in a man's good graces and have him accept your child. That's what I'm saying. You have a child, granted. The kid ain't going nowhere. You can't undo it, right? Then you as the mother need to make it to where a man would want to pick you over somebody else. That's your responsibility. It's chicken or the egg.
Of course, and that's what I'm asking.
And
So
you
what
need
should
to
What
be-
am I supposed to do? I
Well-
feel like anytime I come across a man, all they're interested in is just sleeping with me.
Because you've already had a baby, and you have to accept that, man. You put yourself there, and you can't use that against men saying, "Well, all they want to look at me is a sex object," because you've already had a child, and men know they don't want to take on the responsibility. Single mothers are free sex, is what a lot of men think.
Wow.
I'm sorry, man. It's all in my comment section
Wow.
from single mothers.
That's a
My
lie.
question is, did you not know?
They want-
now listen.
Wow.
Did you not know that
No.
having a child was going to lead to all these possible outcomes if you didn't marry the father?
Wow.
I was warned, but I was so obsessed and in love with him at the time.
Thank
I
you.
thought that was gonna
So
be
that
my
is
all.
but obsessed and in love. But one thing you did not say is you did not say I was married.
We weren't.
So you were selfish.
Wow.
You were worried about your obsession, your love, what you wanted. You had good count. Stop. Do not overtalk me. I'll drop this shit right now.
The
You had good
Godfather
counsel
don't
and
play.
everything else, and you decided to do what you wanted to do.
Sorry.
The
You
Godfather
had good
don't
counsel,
play.
and you decided to do what you wanted to do.
Oh well, it happened. But you want
Right?
to take the baby back now?
So now
Now
at
what?
26, how old is your child?
She's 4.
You'll be looking for a stepfather. You have to go out into the market and realize that you can't demand what the childless version of you could. You have to do more than the childless version of you. You have to if you want a man on the same level.
So what's the more I should do?
Man, that's on you to figure out. I'm not. You ain't paying me. I mean, you want. And
Live
I'll be
your
honest,
life.
What you need
Live
is
your life.
investment in yourself. That's the truth. Because now you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I'm just trying to get women to recognize don't marry before you don't have children out of wedlock, because this is what it puts you in. But for women like yourself, it's not a simple solution. It's complex. I don't know you. I don't know your child. I don't know your parenting situation. But I will say in this, your child needs. What do you need to do? You need to make your child an asset to a man. And you need to make your situation not a liability, to where you're an asset as well, to where you're the best choice out of all others. That sounds like a lot of work, don't it?
It is when you don't understand what is that warrior supposed to do.
Well, I'm sorry. And this is why you don't have kids out of wedlock, because none of the choices are easy. Somebody's supposed to come along and tell you as a grown-ass mother, here's how you make yourself better. See, you decided to get in the adult lane and become a parent. This is what you get.
So my question now is, you need to tell me that, because it seems like
Hey, Trey J.
there's not men out there that are willing to accept that about me and other women that have kids.
Sure.
Because you said from the beginning I should either make it work with my
Sure.
daughter's father.
Sure, but you can also win the lottery too. Is that a good investment strategy?
No.
Then why you want to ask me about that men out there that are willing to accept it? You've said it yourself. What are the men you're running into? They only want sex because you're a single mother.
And I look good.
Yeah, you look good for sex.
Yeah, and I know I want more than that. That's the thing.
Well, that's the problem. It's not about what you want. See, thank you. What you want is irrelevant. You got to give the buyer what they want. That's where you came in, starting out talking about what you want, what you want, what you want. That's what I've been saying over and over to my critics and detractors. You need to realize these women are incredibly selfish. That's all you talk about.
So you're saying women that have children out of wedlock are selfish?
I'm saying you're selfish. And most women that have children out of wedlock are selfish, yes. Because you were thinking about you. You were thinking about you. You had good counsel going into it. You knew better. You knew the statistics. You're educated. You know better. The internet exists. You guys can't act like you were young and dumb and didn't know better. But you did what you wanted to. That's selfish. You didn't make a baby because you wanted to be a family and go forward. You didn't do it the right way. It was about you.
I want that, but I did it backwards.
It was about him.
Well, that was selfish, then, now wasn't it? And see, that's the thing. Accountability is like kryptonite. They don't want to say the
My
words.
night is
Man,
going
it's
fine,
selfish.
Trey J, and yours.
I can accept that. I can accept that, but I know my intentions, and it's kind of
Your intentions don't matter.
I thought
The world does not owe you
was gonna
understanding.
make him stay.
What?
I thought maybe having the baby would really make him realize, okay, this is about to have my child.
What?
Let's make it work.
Listen what she said. She had an anchor baby. Thank you.
Pause, guys. Second red flag.
Or you be quiet. All right, anybody got any comments that they would like to say? If anybody want to come up and say something, I will put it in the link. How do you feel about what Mr. Samuels have to say? Sound off now. Don't hold it in. If anybody got something to say, if they want something to say, come on up. You think he's speaking the truth? Yes. He's speaking the truth, but he's speaking the truth that he is a word salad. Hello, brother.
What's going on, Sister Sugar?
Hey.
What's going on, boss lady? It's been a while, boss.
She'll catch up.
So how you doing? How you doing tonight?
I'm
Saturday
good.
night?
I've been liking your shows too, but how you have to feel about this? Then I want to talk to you about your show.
Oh well, I used to think Kevin was being harsh on the sisters, but now I see that he's not. He's being realistic with them, and they take it as being harsh. They take it as him trying to insult them when he's really trying to educate and help them. But for some reason, the sisters, because of the way they were raised and society itself, they can't see what he's saying.
Hey, Trey J.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and yourself?
How's it going, brother?
Doing okay.
So can you tell me how you feel about this show? What Kevin Samuels was saying?
Well, first of all, hello, panel. I think that he's speaking truth. I think we have to kind of go back to, as a community, what is the right and wrong. There has to be a version of right and wrong. It can't just be how you feel or I'm living in the moment or whatever the case is. It has to be, some things have to be black and white. Now, granted, is mercy involved? Of course. Is grace and forgiveness and leeway? Yeah, but you can't live your life off of that. And her having a child for a man that was not her husband, it destabilized not only her home, her child. So now, it's a chaotic situation, and then to say, hey, well, you know, I'm going to give up on this man, and I want another man to come in and bear the responsibility, and he's to be blessed because he can have me. I think that's a little, I don't know, it's a stretch to me. I think, you know, I think that seeing who you are and then changing it and then doing whatever it takes to try to make up for it is what's best. Like if she had came in and said, well, you know, hey, you know, maybe what can I do better, or how can what's the way that I can make myself I can serve a man and make myself, you know, a asset to him, which she did ask, but it was more or less like, you know, it was kind of begrudgingly. I don't know. This kind of my viewpoint on it.
But why would you ask that question if somebody's already telling you, listen, you got a baby, nobody wants your baby, nobody don't want you, and you're gonna grow old and long. So what's the purpose of me asking you that question if I can't get nobody? I mean,
Well,
on their point of view.
I get that, but see, I think what I mean, although a lot of you know Kevin Samuel's talking points is kind of hyperbolic a little bit, because obviously you can't say that no man, he can't speak for 100% of men saying that no
Right.
man out there would take her. However, I would say 2 points to it. A, the kind of man that she probably respect that's not the kind of woman that he will go for, and then 2, or B, should I say? I mean, the pendulum has swung so wildly the other way, where, you know, people feel like, well, if even though I'm not doing things the right way, even though I'm not doing things the way I'm supposed to, it'll still work out. It'll still, you know, benefit me later on. And sometimes I think you can't think like that. Sometimes, you know, you do things the right way to get the best result. And sometimes you don't always get the best result. Sometimes when you do good things, you get a bad result. Sometimes it happens, but doesn't mean you stop doing good things. It just means that, you know, maybe that particular time it didn't come out in your favor. So I think what he's trying to do is trying to swing it back the other way. Like, no, do things the right way. And maybe, you know, does it work out 100% of the time? No, nothing's 100%.
Now that part I agree with.
But you gotta, it has to be, you can't just say, oh, well, hey, it's okay. You know, I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'm sure everything will be fine. Somebody else will come and fix it and take care of it for me. That's not how you live your life. And then you teach that to your child, and your child grows up thinking that, you know, hey, things are just going to work out for me. No, you have to make it work out for you.
Don't forget, things swing both ways. You know, you got a lot of women out there that mess with men who have kids. I mean, things swing both ways.
Right.
But there's nothing and nobody can make it seem like one is worse than the other. When it comes down to a child, they want their mother and they want their father. They want both of their 50 chromosomes.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so because of and then, you know, like I said, I do believe, you know, now that I'm older, yeah, I should have got that ring on my finger. But then again, sometimes when you're young, a lot of these kids are young. I think marriage is the worst thing for them.
But see, okay, so I see marriage as marriage is supposed to be for a means, right? So some people get into a marriage because they're so helplessly, you know, in love. And one thing I know about feelings change. You know, one moment you're happy, you're in a happy moment right now. You can get a phone call or you can get a text message that will ruin the rest of your life. You know, or that will ruin the rest of your year at least. Feelings go up and down. So marriage is not about feelings or how happy you are, how much in love you are. I think marriage is more so about it's for an outcome. what kind of life do I want to live? And if you know, as a young lady or a young man, that you want to be married at some point in time in your life, or that you want, you do want marriage, I think it would behoove you to, put everything in order. Make it make sense. Put your ducks in a row. If you, like, for example, if you want to buy a car, or if you want to get a car, you got to go work and go make some money. You can't just manifest it, or you can't just say, "Hey, I'm ready for a car now. Let me get one." No, you got to put things in this proper perspective to get what you want. And I think that's what the whole beauty of marriage is. To say, "Hey, it's a yin and yang. I'm a masculine man. I'm a man's man. So I want a feminine woman, and she balances me in crucial ways. Like, I'm very logical, very straightforward, black and white. Hey, this is how this is supposed to be. This is how that's supposed to be. But then when I listen to my wife speak to me, she's like, okay, maybe I am being a little strong on this. I'll show a little mercy. I'll show a little kindness. And that's the beautiful balance.
Oh God!
Granted, I'm not married right now, but I would assume that that's what how a good wife would.
Listen, like I said, different strokes for different folks. Because every man, they can have all of these podcasts and stuff all they want. It does not take away when them two is alone in the house by themselves how stuff really goes. So I can't say yeah. Well, look at the statistics. That's the statistics. Is where did the statistics come from, and who did the statistics? I ain't never, as long as I've been living, nobody came to me with a statistic, and nobody that I know. But DOD, would you like to pick up on what he's saying, bro?
Well, no, I agree with what the brother is saying, and also too, younger women who may watch Kevin Samuel who don't have children, who may be about to be, who are in a relationship or thinking about getting into a relationship with someone, watching Kevin Samuel show may help them not to fall into the single mother trap.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? By watching his show and watching what these ladies are going through, it may put in their mind that, hey, I don't want to go down that road. So what I want to do it the right way. I want to get married, then have my children.
That part I cannot. Trey J, do not forget to subscribe to my channel.
Of course, I'll subscribe right now.
Get to subscribe to my brother DOD channel. Now, DOD, what's going on with this? The Vestalot stuff you be having on your channel.
That's a whole different.
Now, DOD, what's going on with this? Come on now.
We have a group of women here on YouTube who believe that black men ain't it, and that the white man is Jesus and God, and they want to divest to the white community.
I'm sorry. I personally think that's the dumbest thing ever. But if you love. But just to have every show where you need, I'm like this. You haven't proven to me that all white men are better.
Well, that's my point when I do my videos, because they teach these young black women that the white man is better, that the white man will never harm you, he'll never leave your baby mama.
Yeah, okay.
And right, exactly.
And where's the statistics for that? You know how many artists said, "Hey, I never seen too many artists. There are some, but a lot of them too. Oh, my dad was. I hear a lot of them saying my dad was not there, and they Caucasian.
Right. I
hear a lot of them saying my father was a drunk and beat up my mother, and they are Caucasian. So I'm trying to figure out where they getting this information from. I turn to it from time to time that, I get a little information. I got to flip it, because my thing is date who you want to date, but don't bring down the black man, because go ahead. If you feel the black man, hey, whatever floats your boat.
Well, see, that's a lot of my point too, because if they were really happy with these so-called white men that they have, then you would think they'd be on here trying to educate the sisters on how to get these up and coming swirlers and divestors. You would think they'd be trying to educate them on how to get a white man, but you never see them with white men. They're always on YouTube talking about, the black man.
Yeah.
And so what I do is whenever they do a video and they show a video of a black man doing something, I do a video of a white man doing the same thing.
Right. That keep it even.
Exactly. But it's more just to keep it even, is to let these young women who may be coming up, these young black women who may be coming up thinking about dating another race of men, to let them know that all races of men can harm them. It's not just black, Asian, Hispanic, white, any man can harm you. But these divestors, they don't tell these young sisters that. They go out into the dating world, thinking that a white man won't harm them, and then they wake up, deceased the next morning.
Yeah, they wake up up in the attic or in the backyard somewhere. Listen, everybody got their devils, right?
May I say something?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I apologize, but
I was finished. It's okay.
What I was trying to say was, society, culture, whether it be cultural, America, Western society, I don't know, can't really pin it down exactly, but they attacked a lot of our women by letting them, making them think that they weren't beautiful. Their nose, their lips, their dark skin, their hair. They really, to strip. A woman's beauty, to herself is it's very closely attached to her self-esteem. Men, men, of course, they want to look decent, but if a woman thinks that he's ugly, he's heard it 1,000 times before, so it doesn't really bother him typically. But a woman, it's really attached to her, who she is, and whatever has tried to strip that of black women. But now on the flip side, that same systemic racism has tried to strip black men of their masculinity. Whether it was back in the day bucking them, or whether it was slapping them, spitting on them, whatever, and they did it in front of their women. Now nowadays, with especially 20 years ago, there was cops that had cops running and chasing after black men and pinning them down and grabbing them and putting them in handcuffs because of whatever perceived wrong that was done. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because it was our women are very susceptible to media and to propaganda. So they're very heavy into the media standpoint. So like listening to certain things may have changed their view on who black men are and who black men always were, and the way that we've changed over the years. Granted, there is a lot of black men.
Hold on, give us some examples so we can get an understanding of what changed and what society may change. Like when people give examples about women and what changed, the first thing they say is our hair, our nails, our this. So what do you mean by that, sir?
About how black men have changed?
Yeah.
Well, there is a influx of black men that are doing better financially. Considered broke, not we don't have any money, are quote unquote dusties, or we leave our kids, we have a bunch of kids all over the place and not take care of our children. There were so many they're always in jail, they're in prison, and now granted there is a large population of black men in prison, but that's not the whole story. It's only was partial of it. And for the most part, black men have turned it around. Especially if you look at blackdemographics.com, by black people for black people. Look at the CDC, where it says that black men are the most involved fathers. Having meals.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that's one statistic out of many. And I noticed Kevin Samuel said, okay, do this one. I'm like, okay, what are you comparing that statistic with? And who are these people who gave these answers? Who are the people that made the statistic?
Well, I know the CDC, Center of Disease Control. They, there's, well, I won't say polls. There's studies or research that's done for each community.
Yeah, but it's not done on everybody. So,
I mean, you can't.
Right, you cannot.
You can't speak for 100% of people. And if you had to speak for 100% of people, you can never talk about anything.
So
because
then,
some people.
That means they statistics go out the garbage.
But no, when you use statistics is usually for the majority of people. And if
it's the majority of the people who took the statistics, not the majority of people. Like if you only interviewed 100 people and you got 99 out of it, you can't say that's the majority because you only did 100 people out of 250 billion people.
Well, because the black community makes up 13% of the population. So derivatives from that, we know that black women are twice as much as black men. There's there's more black women out there than there are black men. We know that we know that we die sooner than you guys. We know so obviously have some black men lived over 100 years old, of course, but that does not mean that you can't extrapolate numbers. You can extrapolate a understanding of something by looking at the numbers, by looking at what has been polled. Now there has been vast amount of research done on black people, whether it was actually something that was done in some type of shady way. Now granted, they were doing some crazy stuff as far as putting what they would put into our bodies and stuff like that. So there's a lot of research and studies that have been done on black Americans, and those are the same. When you go you go to CVS and you get some medicine, our Tylenol doesn't work on everybody, but they still produce it. And it's because it's for the majority of people. And that they also
for the people who take Tylenol, you have people who take Advil. But I just want to ask you two questions.
Sure.
Why are you not married yet, and how old are you?
I'm 30. I'm not married yet because as a young man, I was first of all, I was married at one point in time in my life. I was married, but
it didn't work out.
I got married at 18. I got divorced at 20, 21. I was immature.
You sound like some women there. You think
immature, insecure, very I wasn't man enough to lead a woman. I wasn't man enough to do anything. I thought that marriage, at that point in time, I thought that marriage, I could just have sex all day, but that wasn't, that quickly got old, and knowing how to lead and be responsible, I was a young idiot.
It's okay, and you were young, but the thing is, when it comes down to the women saying the same exact thing, we're crucified. But now, let me turn this on to Truly, because she's been waiting, and then DOD, you go right after her, okay?
No, I was literally going to say the same thing. It's no mercy when it comes to females. And also earlier he said females are more prone and susceptible to social media. No, that's a human thing. Even back in the day, like Malcolm X had a perm. You understand? It's like, it's not a woman thing. It's a human thing. If you're weak at that moment, you're going to fall for it. But females tend to not have that room to grow, that room to blossom, to become a butterfly. That's the crazy part to me.
Right.
Now, what the brother is saying, and you hear what he said. Not once did he say anything bad about the woman that he was married to. He took full accountability for his immaturity in the marriage. When you
Right.
talk to these sisters and you're asking what happened, the first thing they'll say is the man, the man, the man. The man did it, the man this, the man that. There is no accountability when we talk to Black women about failed relationships or
What if
failed
it was
marriages.
the man? He just said it was
The
him.
video we
So
just
his
watched.
girlfriend would say him.
Say
The
again?
video we just watched, the lady said the same exact thing
No,
that
no,
he
no.
just said.
No, no.
That's
She
what made
didn't,
me bring that up.
she didn't take any accountability.
Listen,
Everything was the man's fault. The man this, the man didn't do that.
right.
But this
She
brother
said she
here,
was young, she wasn't ready, she
this
was
brother
more
took
focused
full,
on sex. She said the same exact words.
this brother was fully accountable for his actions in the marriage. When you talk
Oh,
to
we
Black
like Ray
women,
J.
there is no accountability.
We like Ray J. I like how he speak. I'm glad, and I'd like to say thank you all for having much respect, so we can have these panels. Trey J, he spoke. I didn't try to. I'm not going to break him down, but what I was saying was when she said it, and then she was crucified. Well, when a man said, I wasn't necessarily talking about Trey J. I was just
No, I
talking.
know you weren't.
I was talking about, some of these other people that, like, when they say it, it's like it's okay. But when a woman says she's crucified,
It's because
it's
she's
like
not
she's
taking
thrown to the cross.
accountability for it.
But see, you're talking about with Trey J. But listen,
I'm not talking about Trey J. I'm talking
Okay,
about
but-
the women that Kevin
okay.
Samuels talked to.
all right, but they're not taking accountability for who?
For themselves, for their actions, for what they did in the relationship to have the relationship fail.
But if they don't, they didn't do nothing to. Only person they hurting is the person they messed up with, and maybe their children. Nobody owes anybody. I don't. That's like me. I don't have to sit up here and tell you I'm sorry or whatever, and be accountable for the things that I.
But then she shouldn't be on his show, then.
Listen. He invite women up there, right?
And they go and they answer the call.
All right, they answer the call. So sometime, he's gonna. He doesn't really. He words solid a lot of stuff, and he makes it go his way a lot of stuff just for you men, just so you men could be like, oh, a Godfather and all this other bullshit. I don't even know how grown men calling another grown man Godfather.
I've never done that.
Either way.
Well, I would say this. I mean, I do understand the vitriol in some ways that Kevin Samuels get. I do. Obviously, his delivery can be pretty brash. Sometimes, it's no wiggle room. It's either black or white. It's either yes or no. Sometimes I get that. However, in a lot of ways, that is needed. That stance, that hardened stance, has to be. It has to have that structure. Has to be present. Those hard lines are present in everything in society, from creation, from God to what man is building. Every hard stance is now. Granted, are there mitigating circumstances? Of course, but what I believe is, and the reason why that I can honestly say the issues that I've had is because being a man, you have to face your shit. Excuse my language,
No,
but you have to
you're right.
face your mess in the mirror. Now, what happened was the reason the key difference was between her mistake and someone else's mistake is that her mistake is visiting upon another child. A child is born into this world that is destabilized. Our community is filled with destabilized kids, and these destabilized kids grow up and they get older, and then they create the same situation that they were born into, and it's a repetitive cycle. That's why Kevin Samuels, although sometimes harsh, although sometimes it's just sometimes even as a man, it aggravates me at times. But I have to then check myself and say, listen, what I mean, what are we trying to build here? Are we trying to build a building that nobody would want to live in, or would you want to build a building that you know is up to code? And more often than not, there are no men. Men are either being divorced by
Him,
after 5 years.
like
There's
him.
no hard man stance in these homes anymore, and it's when you hear a man speak and who's standing on his ground, whether he's right or he's wrong, whether you feel he's right or he's wrong, you have to appreciate it, because at the end of the day, that's a man standing on his ground. And then it gives a woman, at least if you was Kevin Samuels' woman, if somebody was dating a person like that, then she knows she can
Thank you, JT.
create. Go ahead.
No, somebody just gave me a cash app. I had to say thank you.
Oh, okay. She can create like, you know, I kind of look at it like this. If you have a house or if you have a room and the room has, you know, 4 walls to it. Now, you know, you give a woman 4 walls and give her what she needs, then she can create a home out of it or create a nice, good environment out of it. But she has to have those stances. She has to have those walls to do that. And what Kevin Samuels has done, and what some men who think like him, or who are, you know, have his viewpoints on certain things, or just have those hard stances on stuff, they give their women, typically speaking, that strong masculine male to rely and lean on.
I don't even know what a strong masculine male is, but I would say is it's okay to be harsh, but don't dish it if you can't take it. Now, if you want somebody to really listen to what you're saying, say it. But all that, or F you bitch, and what other type of way to call a fat woman fat, first of all, that's equivalent of me saying, well, what other type of way you want me to say to a man, you got a small ping ping? Matter of fact, you can't even see me without whipping it out. Cause I the same way, I don't want to wait till pull your stuff out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then it should be the same way with the weight on women then.
But we can lose our weight.
A man should be able to see a woman and say, I don't want you because you fat then, right?
Right, but a woman could say that, but we can lose our weight. Y'all can't grow no bigger ping ping. Y'all can't grow a bigger eggplant. Y'all eggplant stay the same. So what if a lot of men,
there are things that can be done, but I understand the gist.
But no, I'm saying it just wouldn't be right to come out and say that.
No, but I would say though, I would say to count.
People are human, and you don't need to tell. I don't need to tell a man your thing small. He knows it's small as well as if you see a fat lady or a fat man. I'm quite sure every day they look in the mirror, they know they fat. So who is anybody to say you are fat? They know that already. Now, if you want to say, you know what, you beautiful baby, come on me to the gym. Let's work this out. And you be that woman's inspiration. You get, if you ever watch some of these shows, they like a whole different woman if y'all want us to back y'all up and be y'all peace, as y'all always say, and be the person to let you. Okay, so what about us? We don't just need your money. Hey, that woman is fat, and okay, baby girl, I'm gonna go with you to lose this. I go to the gym, you going to the gym. I'm walking the block, you walking the block. Cause once you can always lose weight. People make it sound like that's the end of the world.
I get your point. I get your point, but I would say to counteract what you're saying is that what'd you say? Excuse me. Counter what you're saying is you as a man, we kind of already know what it is. Like we've heard we're groomed to hear rejection and keep going. Mm-hmm. That is the stance of a man. How many times has, it used to be, I would say about 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago, how you got a woman was, or maybe even 30, 40 years ago, really, was to be persistent, right? So like if she'll turn you down 4, 5, 6 times before she finally says yes. And you kept going, you kept pushing it until you got her. That's how it used to be when you used to get women. Now, obviously, being persistent now gets you thrown to jail. It's you know what I'm saying? But persistent back in the day, it was actually how you got your woman. So men have been calibrated to know what it is. Or women would say, I don't date short men. Women would say, oh, I don't date broke men. Now, it used to be that men and women, they would get together around, especially our women, black men and black women would get together around 23, 24, 25, and they would grow, right? And so she would, tend to his needs to help him grow and facilitate growth within him to become the whatever. And every other community does that. They get with their millionaires, the billionaires, they get them when they're very young out of their science communities or whatever the case is, and they help him build. Now,
so she doesn't need to grow and she doesn't need to build, though, right?
Well, no, growth. But see, growth happens in different ways.
Kids turn 18 they turn 18 so fast, make your head swing. So then what I'm supposed to do?
Growth happens for men and women differently, though. See, if you know that you, like I said, you just depends on what you want. If you know that you want marriage is what you want as a woman, then it would behoove you.
What I'm talking about, a woman's peace and a woman's growth. The same thing. Like me, I'm equal opportunist. I don't just speak on men. I speak on women too. I don't just try to make a man point, because I just believe that you can get, if we're going to try to fix this out, we got to hear. That's why I'm loving this chat we got going now, because we hearing each other out and hearing each other points out in a nice, respectable way. So I thank all of you guys for that. But I just think everything goes two ways. Same thing a man need, a woman need.
I don't think so. I think women and men need two different things from each other.
If don't argue with a woman, I'm not gonna argue with a man. Tell me what I need.
As far as what you need,
because I am a woman. So tell me what I need.
He was about to. You interrupted him.
He said women.
He was about to explain, but you interrupted him. Like you interrupted me now. Let the brother explain it.
Men and women need two different things from each other. As a man, now I honestly, I'm not going to look to my woman for provision or protection. I'm not going to look to my woman for, to be my everything. I'm not going to do that. Like I'm a man at the end of the day. Now, more often than not, if I did need any help from my woman, whether it be financial, whether it be emotional, mental, whatever, I would want a woman that is malleable enough to be able to put herself in any space that she sees as void and say, okay, my baby needs work, needs help with this. So I'm good with this. So like women are more so, if I was to put it in a term, women are more so handymen. Like they can do multiple things. Like now, if I'm a specialty,
that's why I said you know what women and men need. I didn't cut you off. He's still speaking upon women. I'm a woman, so I'm waiting for him
to got to that part yet.
No, but he haven't told me.
I was talking about from a man's perspective. Now, from a woman's perspective, women they tend to want and need protection, care, love, attention. They need provision. They want a man that, women are a lot of times are hypergamous, so they want a man who has more than them. They want men who are able to take, remove the burdens. The one saying I do like from Kevin Samuels is that pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. So remove the pressure from them. I don't look for a woman to remove the pressure from me. I want that pressure because I'm a man and I can handle it.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about perspective. So you say you can handle the pressure. You can handle your pressure load. You don't know what her pressure load is. Mm-hmm. To carry kids, to not sleep, to nurse babies, to also work, to clean the house, to cook. That's a lot of pressure. Plus, I also got to be in shape, look good for you, make sure your food is. That's a lot of pressure. A lot of women crack under that.
You're
So
right.
it's
No,
not
I
like.
agree. But
So
that's why I say. But
it
that's why I
baffles
say
me.
that the pressure is okay. We have two different roles. My pressure is out there in that world. Your pressure is here in maintaining me and maintaining the household so that I can handle that pressure out there. It doesn't make things easier for you. You know, the one
But
thing
it's
that
not
I
lesser
give
either.
you as a
It's not
man is I
lesser.
give you an option. I give you options. See, now you with me, you have the option to go and to help and contribute in any way that you possibly can to make our relationship, our family, the best that we can possibly be. That does not absolve you though. It doesn't make you seem like, oh, well, I shouldn't have to work. No, your work is us. That's the job I want to give you. I don't want your job to be at the factory or at the you sweating and staying on your feet 50, 40, 50, 60 hours a week and for minimum pay or for just to say you got $18 an hour and just say you can get your hair and your nails done. No, I'd rather give you your money for your hair and your nails and your job be focusing on making sure that we're good. And then I can therefore say, you know what, when that good loving you gave me last night, that good loving you've been giving me all week, I can get my ass up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go out there and bust my ass so I can make some money.
But see,
That's
Trey,
how I feel. And that's how most men feel.
And I agree with you. But today's women, the modern women today see that as controlling. They see you controlling her. You have to give her money. She wants to go out and make her own money. So it's like you said, 40 years ago.
That is correct.
40 years ago, that would have worked. Not today.
But that's what I'm saying. Teamwork. Like when you're on a basketball team.
I agree with you, though. I agree with you, brother.
Can I tell you why?
Team, not everybody's the point guard. When you're on a basketball team, not everybody's LeBron James. When you're on a basketball team, not everybody's Michael Jordan. But you play your role in the betterment of the team. Your charge that you just took might save the game, might have won the championship.
Can I tell you why?
It doesn't mean that you're Michael Jordan. It just means that you have your own role.
Pippin, go ahead. Go ahead, Truly.
So I'm like that. I'm really like that. It's because I learned from the past. Things that I didn't go through, the things that women have went through throughout history. So if you decide to leave me today and I only have your money, I am stranded. I have nothing to go on at all. If you leave me for the next chick, what about me? And that's all reality. So of course I want to work. Of course I want to have a safety net.
But
life is not a straight line. Anything can
like
happen.
That. Men don't divorce women like that. 80
we researched this already, but go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. Most of Kevin Samuels' talking points, I actually studied and looked up because I didn't believe him at first.
And we do it on the screen right here too, and we find different ones. But what I will say is, all of that does sound good, but sometimes women have dreams and aspirations they had since they was little kids. Are they supposed to put that on hold? Like, that's like me. Like God sent me to work with kids. God sent me to work at youth kids. And my son, he older now, but my son learned a lot because he was right with me. My daughter was already grown. But I'm saying, so now he know how to be a boss. And he know how to do boss things. And he learned that from me because I am the boss. But I only do what God tell me to do. I don't think that should be taken away from women because a man just wants. Sometimes, I know it's nothing like getting old and having a lot of regrets. And what you say sounds good. And matter of fact, if you was older, I'd probably take you so you could sit back. I could sit back. And you can get my nails done and stuff for a day long. I don't have a problem with that, but you got to cook too. But
first of all, I love to cook, but I'm not saying that I would.
Everywhere that I speak to, for some reason, they know they got to know how to cook. What I'm saying is, what I say, whatever float. There's no rules and regulations to me in a relationship. It's whatever you guys come up with together that works for you guys.
But that's
let
rules
me
and
clarify
regulations, though.
something.
Even if you agree with them, that's still rules and regulations to it.
Let me
It's your own set of rules. Is what you
let me
and
clarify
your
something.
said it. Mhm.
I just want to clarify something real quick. I'm sorry. It's not to say that I don't want my woman to work. First of all, I wouldn't want my woman working over 30, 35 hours a week. That's at maximum 35 hours a week. But I mean, I'm not saying I don't want her to work. Obviously, I want her to be able to, have some money in her own pocket. So I'm not trying to control her in that way to say that she can't have this or can't have that. But what I would say is that in a relationship, it's not about independence. It's about interdependence. It's about depending on each other. If you are so focused on what you want and how you feel and how everything you, then there's no way us can happen. How it should be is that as a man, my focus should be 100% be on my family, not on myself. That's why I get up early in the morning. That's why I bust my butt the way I do, because it's for my family. In turn, your focus should not be on you. It should be on me and how I feel, how I'm doing, how my maintenance. And so therefore, if you're focusing on me and I'm focusing on you, we both get taken care of. But if I'm focusing on you and you're focusing on you, I'm out of it. But if I'm focused on me and you're focused on me, then you feel left out of it. So there has to be both.
Yeah,
it can't
but
be
I
selfish.
still believe. I don't think it's being selfish. I think if the man is still being taken care of, if a woman is still able to take care of a man, but I just think that some women, like you got a lot of women on here, right? And they got the feminist ones, how to be feminine. You can't teach women how to be feminine, no way. And and then you got all these people that got all these YouTube channels, and I'm like, to me, you're fake and phony because YouTube is a job. How you sitting up there being all feminine, but you got a video every day 2 or 3 times, that which means you're still making your own money. You're making your own. Everything you telling us not to do, you're doing it. As soon as you get that Cash App or that PayPal, that's money coming in. So you
Right.
are your own boss.
I'm not saying.
I'm saying though, I'm not talking about you right now. I'm talking about the women who trying to tell women how to act and what they should do when you're not doing it yourself. Why do we see you?
Right.
Why are you taking money from men? If what you're saying is so true, they supposed to be waiting for their husband, and and then they want to charge. Picture me paying all that money for somebody to teach me how to be a woman. I could be nice. That should be in you. Like that should be in you already. Like you should know how to respect somebody already. You're supposed to learn how to take care. Maybe because I'm old school, we didn't have to learn that. We just took care of our men. And a lot of them went astray or whatever because they wanted to. But I think that I do believe that you should take care of your man. I always say that. But a man also has to understand that I have to do what God tell me to do. It's not going to take away from him. And a lot of men, they end up, not that I talk to a poet, they end up going, wow, I respect what you do. Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? But I deal with a lot of kids. I got 900 kids, Trey.
If we're bringing God into this, then I would say that the whole basis, the whole foundation is what your use was, what your creation was, the purpose of why you're here on earth is to be our helpmate. And if you're going to be our helpmate, then our purpose is to provide, to protect, to create, to continue to grow, continue to grow the Garden of Eden all over the earth.
All right.
That was what our charge was.
Okay,
so,
Trey,
yes.
As you speak that, is that a commandment?
That was a commandment.
Is that a law, statute, and commandment, or is that scripture?
That was a commandment from God. That was
no,
a commandment
is it
from God.
scripture or is it one of the commandments?
It was a script. It was a commandment. It was.
Okay, what?
It's in the scriptures, but it's a
No, no, no.
commandment. That was
It's
the first commandment given.
the first commandment is not is
One of the
to
first
be a help.
commandments, shall I say?
No, that's not. That is
It wa-
not. That's the scripture. That's not a commandment.
When in Genesis 1, when he said or Genesis 3, I think it was when Genesis 3, when he said that to be fruitful and become many and fill the earth and
That's
subdue it.
scripture, not a commandment. People get these two things confused.
So
So
what is a commandment?
a commandment is when he says, "Thou shalt not."
But if I tell you to do something, is that not yet still a commandment?
No, I said, am I breaking any of God's laws, statutes? And
No, it wasn't a law. It wasn't a statute, but
correct.
it was.
It's not a law.
It was a
So
It was a commandment, though.
it,
It wasn't a
it's
law or
no
statute,
law,
but it was a
law,
commandment.
statute, and commandment is technically the same thing. But there's none of the laws that it never. I'm not going to hell if I don't cook you food. I'm not going to
No.
hell if I'm not.
But you
If
will be you will be judged and will be punished on
no, I
how
will
you
not.
don't
I
do
will
or
not.
do not submit to
No,
your
no,
head. For
I
example,
will not.
if man as mankind did not submit to Jesus Christ as our head, there will be consequences.
That
And same
again,
and
I
same
will
for
not
you.
have
If
the
you do not
no, I
submit to
will
your
not.
husband, which is your head,
You
there
need
will
to
be
go back,
consequences.
to your law, statutes, and commandments. God said, if you break these laws, statutes, and commandments, there'll be punishment. A
No, okay,
scripture,
right. We're not talking about the 10 commandments.
No,
we're
I'm
talking about
talking
the 10
about.
commandments. We're
I'm
talking
talking
but
about. It's 600 and something commandments, but people get confused when they throw scripture in. So even if I don't take care now, God tell you that He puts in scripture to tell you how the household is supposed to go, and if you follow His rules, then it will go smoothly, and you'll have a great marriage. But that's Him telling you this is what you should do. But it's not a commandment. I'm not going to hell if I don't take care of you. That's not a commandment. I'm
it
not
was
going to hell if I
a
don't cook for
commandment.
you.
A commandment is a rule to be observed, right? That was as typically
Right,
attached to divinity,
but you
divine.
didn't give me a commandment. You gave me scripture.
Right. No, what I'm saying is that rule that was to be observed was a divine rule. That was a divine order.
No,
That
what's
was
a
gi-
divine? That's an order, but it's not a commandment. I didn't break any laws.
Okay, so you're saying that if you have a husband,
Mhm.
that
No.
that it is not a commandment for you to submit to your husband.
No, it's not. Unless you
Oh,
get okay.
okay.
Only way it would be a commandment if you show me it's a commandment in that Bible.
I disagree. I disagree.
No,
but
it's
okay.
nothing to disagree. Next time you come on here, you give me the number commandment and show me. Now, should we take care of our husband? Should we submit? That's something totally different. I told you I'm all about my man. I've never had a complaint
That-
yet. I'm all
that-
about because if I believe when I got a man, he's my man. I believe in taking care of him. I will make that man think he's floating on air because if that's your man, you supposed to treat that man right while you being in a relationship. If I had a man, I never had these conversations because I automatically know I'm there for that man's needs. He's there for mine too. Long as he don't stop me from, having my little programs, but I still come home. We're gonna eat whatever you cook because you're the cook. But I make sure the house is still tidy.
See, okay, so how I see commandment is an instruction, an order, and when God spoke to Adam and spoke to Eve, especially to Adam, right? Let's take it from Adam and Eve. When He spoke to Adam, He said, "Do not eat of the fruit of the tree of the in the middle of the garden. You should not touch it, or you will positively die." Was that a commandment or a rule?
Listen, it wasn't a commandment, but He still said, if you do this.
That wasn't a commandment?
No, it wasn't. He said, if you do this, He didn't say, I command thee not to do it.
You don't. I mean, if you don't have to say a commandment, you don't
No,
have to
I'm
say
saying
command
I'm
in order for it to be an instruction or an order.
he told him to, but the thing is, he said, if you do this, I'm going to do that. I didn't see where it
Well,
says
no,
if you don't
yeah,
submit to your man, I'm going to what he,
every
I didn't see.
every commandment has a consequence for the orders,
Right,
right?
but
So, for
I didn't
example, if
see.
you were to if you were to if you were to curse your mother or father, you would be put to death, right? You would be
Right,
stoned to
but
death.
that
That was the commandment to the
that's the
Israelites.
command,
If you
but
did not,
that's a commandment. That's not
right, but that's what I was saying is just he didn't have to. There were things that was said that God said that he didn't have to say commandment in order for it to be an order or to be an
No,
edict
he does, because why would
or
he
a
list
mandate.
some? Why would he list some as a commandment and not some? If he wanted these things to all be a commandment,
If God tells you to do
it's
something,
600.
that's a mandate.
It's 600, and it's no. It's over 600 commandments. If everything
God
he
tells
said,
you to do something, it's a mandate.
it's not a commandment, baby. Go check your Bible. It's
So
600.
you're saying if God told you specifically to do something and you did not do it, you mean to tell me he did not command you to do that? That's not an order.
He telling that because he's telling you the order of a household. It's not a commandment. You will have to show me that, baby. We're not going to do the semantics. You show me. You show me what God said. If you don't do this for your husband, this is a commandment. And if the man don't be the head of the household, if the man don't pay the bills, and the man don't treat his wife like he would treat Jesus, and vice versa for the woman, I'm going to do this.
I believe the actual. Okay, if you look into the Greek scriptures where it says,
we're not in Greek.
Listen. Just if you were to go into the Greek scriptures, where the same principle of listening to your parents, right? In the Hebrew scriptures, it was a commandment. Now, in the Greek scriptures, it says that be obedient to your parents in union with the Lord, that things may go well with you and you may endure a long time on the earth, right? That is, the commandments were pretty much in the Greek scriptures. Commandments were pretty much abolished. It didn't say. It told you rule of thumbs. It told you principles. It told you it gave you lists of principles of things of not to do. For example,
but
Jesus said,
it's not law, baby. Like I said, you're still not. I'm telling you, when we speaking upon man and woman, show me the verses. Not of how the head hole. Show me where. Now we got 613 commandments. So if everything he wrote as a scripture, if it was a commandment, it wouldn't be scripture no more. It would be only commandments. So that's not part of the 613 commandments. You're not breaking the law, statutes, and commandments if you don't take care of your husband or wife. But there still are repercussions if you don't. That part I agree with. You will just have a loveless marriage, or you will be lonely, or you'll be the cat woman or the dog man. There are repercussions for your actions, but it's not going to send me to hell.
I definitely disagree. I'm not granted. I don't believe in the hell, heaven, as far as how it's
what
been
I'm
explained.
saying.
But I definitely don't agree with that. But I mean, without, to kind of push along the conversation without actually breaking out the Bible and showing you scripture for scripture.
So we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Without doing that, there's
Not
no way
today.
that I can really allow my point to be understood. But for the furthering of the conversation, okay, I'll just have to agree to disagree on that one.
Okay, that's okay. It's really good. But I think you got. I think you'll make a terrific. Our view is like 15 years older. As long as you cook, you'll see how good I am. Lord, you do the cooking right. I used to be better Crocker, but she went out of business. She went out of business. But Lord, you do the cooking. I'll even go buy the food. You do the cooking. I do everything else. And make sure I don't get my nails done because I got my own natural nails. But with your money, I want to get my nails done. Okay.
That's hilarious.
I don't get the feet done, but with your money, I won't be in that. You know, I'm taking care of you now. You're taking care of me. The rules, and I'm just joking with you. Don't pay me no mind. I'm just joking with you, Trey. You gotta laugh. Yeah, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. Okay, truly, thank you. You know, me here. I always got to make a joke out of something because it's not that serious.
You're absolutely right.
It's not that serious. People be getting all serious. Like, man,
Truly, ladies, have a good night.
I've been around long enough to know if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Tell him your plans. But I do believe that women should learn. I hate to say the word feminism. I just think that if that's your man, you are supposed to, you know, talk to, like, be there for your man, carry your man, give him. I believe in all of that. I believe in all of that. You know, then what's the purpose of being a man? But like I said, certain rules and regulations, it should be between the man and the woman. It shouldn't be because of what anybody on YouTube have to say. They don't control your household. Because once I start taking all these rules and regulations from YouTube people or Twitter, you're gonna start paying my bills too. Now, if my husband says something or my boyfriend says something, that's different. That's different. But if a lot of these men can't make up their own mind and know how to run their household, and they run in their household containing not what would Jesus do, but what would Kevin Samuels do, or what would to me, you're a kid. Now you want to take some pointers. Everybody get pointers from somewhere. We get a point of reference. We get pointers from somewhere. But you know, it is what it is. But how do you feel about that diversity thing? Me and DOD was talking about.
Diversity.
What you call it? Diverse a lot? What you call it, DOD?
Divestment.
Damn, I'm wet.
I was like, diversity?
Divestment. I'm making up new words here.
I think that that having a community, any community that is not encouraging one another to build together is a community expected it's a community that's going to fall. It's a community that can't stand. You can't build on dissension. You know, in order for anyone to have any group of people to have greatness, they have to put together. It's kind of like building blocks. One thing I really appreciate about the Hispanic community is that they work together. Despite petty beefs or petty issues, whatever the case is. Now, granted, you know, you have some of the most dangerous gangs in existence is some of Hispanic people, Mexican culture, but they work together. And even in their, you have some drug lords or whatever the case is. If you ever look at some of these documentaries, how they work together and how they all died for the cause, so to speak, that is admirable. Whereas in our community, that is the narrative that I've been pushing back all night is the selfishness. That's what I did agree with in Kevin Samuels in this video is selfishness, because it's not helping each other build each other up. It's more or less saying, well, let me shame you, or let me make you feel bad, or let me make you feel low by comparing you to another person, to another culture, to another man of another community. which is, comparison is a thief of joy. When you're feeling compared to someone, especially if you're busting your ass and you're doing your best, and you see someone, prompt up another person, another man who puts on his shoes just like you do, but you have to work 10 times as hard to be even recognized, to even feel like you're human. You have to make sure that your hair is cut a certain way. You got to make sure you're dressed a certain way. And even then, in some cases, you're still looked at as subhuman. To then say that person is better than you, just because he has because of the color of his skin, and you hear that from your own women, it's disheartening. And not only is it disheartening, but it hurts your feelings, and it strips you somewhat, so to speak. But I will say this, in pro divester, the divestment community, it's a community, and this is on men and women's side. It's a community that felt ostracized and are done wrong. And, granted, maybe it was some of their choices and the people that they chose or whatever, but you have to have empathy for those people and then try to dispel that notion that they have, because maybe, I just heard from a Hispanic lady. She was actually flirting with me. It's crazy. She was like, "You're the only black guy I like. You're the only black guy I thought I've ever liked." I'm like, I didn't know how to take that. But at the same time, you got to realize that people have lived experiences that have really hurt them. That's why I don't necessarily take all of Kevin Samuels' talking points as far as like cheating and high value men don't cheat, but they exercise options. I don't necessarily agree with all that. But one thing I do champion him for is therapy. Black people need therapy. We need therapy like we need air. Our minds, our hearts are being stripped every single day when we go into this world, when we deal with each other, where we're getting so bad that we are the only way to now this is kind of going on a tangent, but the only way we can support our women is by going up and slapping another man. Like, that's how far bad we've gotten, because it's like before our scab is really able to heal, we're peeling it open and letting it bleed again. And so that's what I think about the divestment community, to be honest.
VOD?
Well, no, yeah, I pretty much feel the same way Trey J just spoke about, because but the thing is, let me ask you, Sugar, I'm going to ask you a question. Are black women loyal?
Yes.
Are you guys loyal to a fault?
What? When you say black woman, I can't speak for all black women. And because you got a lot of rotten apples, baby. So
the reason why I say this is because women on YouTube here, the women that I've listened to, they always talk about how loyal women are. They'll say if black women weren't so loyal, that they would have left black men a long time ago. So these women in the divestment community, you'll see 1,000 black women in their chat, and these women up here talking about going to another race of men. So how loyal are you? And not only that, but they said the reason why they do that is because this other man has all the power. So if that man was to lose all the power and the black man was to get it, you gonna come running back? You know what I'm saying?
There she blows. Yes, exactly. I heard one, and she was saying, because sometimes it come up on your thing when you think, how to finish and it automatically goes to something else. And I'm not gonna stop doing anything else until I'm like, chick, you could do that till you blue in the face. I ain't turning against the black man now. That's it. That's not gonna happen.
Now, do we as black men have to do better? Of course we do. Of course we do. But it's like Trey J said too. You know, black men these days are doing much better financially, and with our children and marriage than we have in the past. So I do see the upswing for black men. And we need to also bring our sisters along as well.
Well, one day I hope we get this together. But the point that I don't like about all of this, we're truly like right now we're healing, but on other stations it's about the money. So they're not gonna constantly come up with no solutions because there is no money in solutions.
Right.
The money is the extreme. I hate the black man and the extreme. I hate the black woman. So if
we
all
live in
we
a
spewing, yeah, I know that. But
yeah,
if that's all we spewing, I take it as it is.
we live in a capitalistic society though.
Yes, of
And
course,
so
of course.
because we live in a capitalistic society, it's really hard to separate anything we do from the money. Anything.
Yeah, but it's sad. But that's people gurus though. That's people gurus. People gurus is the people who don't want no solution. They just want somebody to validate how they feel as a man or how they validate how they feel as a woman. Like here, I try to keep it to whereas we have a conversation because I'm about the black people entirely.
Well, it's just like Tracy said, it's the pain that black men and women have felt in their relationships, the past, whatever has happened to them. There's trauma there, there's pain, and people on YouTube take advantage of that. You know, with these divestment movements and talking down on black men and talking down on black women. A woman and a man, they'll pay to hear someone talk down on the other gender, the opposite gender, if if they're saying what they want to hear, and they'll pay for it because they want other people to feel the pain that they're feeling. So, that's a lot of it because I've seen pro-blacks on here go from pro-black yesterday and now they're divestment today because it's a money maker. On YouTube, it's a money maker.
That's why I like when you do your channel. You say what you got to say, but you keep it balanced. You keep it balanced. Like one day you'll have something to say about this, next day but you don't constantly go after. You keep a balance. You always kept a balance. I like that. That's why I like that. And that's why I don't never like to say, well, men this or men, because who else? I don't care. Who else is there for me to be with but a man? And what else? I got a son. I got nephews. That's why I can't take some of you guys serious. I cannot take some of you guys serious at all. I can't.
I appreciate you saying that. I try to keep it balanced. I do try to keep it balanced as much as possible.
Yeah, and then you have respect for women. Your point of view is your point of view, and we wouldn't be real if we agreed with what all of us said. But at least we hearing each other out.
Now I gotta try to convince Bossy of that. Every time I come up, she leaves. We here got into it that one time. I think Bossy. I think I rubbed Bossy the wrong way.
Boss lady.
Yeah, I think I rubbed it the wrong way when we're talking about the crack generation. Remember that conversation we had?
Boss lady gonna be boss lady. She gonna be boss lady. That's why she bought. No, she Miss Hollywood now. She missed that. Miss Hollywood gonna be Miss Hollywood.
So she went Hollywood on us, huh?
Yeah, she went Hollywood, but that's just how she is. She'll come back and go, I'm sorry. She'll wake up and she'll hear part of it and she'll just step right on in. But that's boss lady. Some people, but she got a good heart. It is what it is. But but don't forget, Trey J, check out my man DOD, and around this time I might do Kevin Samuels or do more subjects like this. But all I can ask for any one of you guys, if you want to say something negative, balance it out with something positive, because I don't think that good women should be overlooked because y'all so busy talking about the rotten ones. Maybe if you hear some more about good women, maybe they may want to follow. But being that all the attention is on the negative of a black woman, they have nobody to look up to because there's nobody promoting them, because we just so much telling them how bad they are. And what they tend to do is rebel even more. They calling me a whore already, so or they say I'm a bad mother already, so but when they start seeing good mothers and good this and good that, that's why I don't know why some of these why you don't never, you can hide your kids' face, but show us how you a good mother if you want me to listen to you.
I said, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And just like with these divestors, you say your life is so much better. The grass is greener over on the white side of town.
Yeah.
Why are you not showing that? Why are you over here,
right?
Like, man, why are you not showing how good your life is over there?
Exactly.
Wouldn't you recruit more black women who are thinking about divesting? Wouldn't that be a better recruiter, or a better recruitment to show how much better it is over on the west side, the white side of town than
you said west. Mm-hmm. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Show me something instead of taking all these people money. Like they got this hyena chick. Me and her got beef. She just don't know we got beef, but we got some beef. Now we going in at her, not because I see how she twists stuff to fit her program, but you can't act like you better than anybody else when you get my cash out. Check you doing the same thing everybody else doing. What makes you ain't got no man? Oh, but I've been divorced. I mean, but he died 50 million years ago. You're still young. You ain't got no man. You ain't got no kids. But you always trying to tell us what problems black women have.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And then she likes to use that name hyena. And I'm like, do you know you actually look like a hyena? You out of all people, hyena should never come out of your mouth. Hyena should never come out of your mouth when you look just like one. I understand what the word hyena means, but you actually look like one. My thing is, you can't tell women to be feminine and do this, but you're making mad money. And then on top of that, y'all starting to sell products. Y'all selling products now.
A-game.
Ding, 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 ding. And then she twists it everywhere. And you pleasing men, or I be looking at all her things. They all from men. And you are Orthodox Muslim. You have no business even speaking to men or taking money from men with that hobby on. Now you could teach all you want, but you're supposed to only teach to women. But what you're doing is making a bunch of men feel happy. That goes against your religion, and that goes against everything you stand for. But you want to keep twisting stuff up. Like I said, each marriage, people want to get married. If y'all choose to do it the Kevin Samuels way or any of their ways, and it works for you guys, let it work. If it doesn't work, hey, whatever floats. Some people are very happy because they made their own rules. And if a woman is happy, she ain't gotta submit to cook. She gonna cook anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the majority of us, we people don't watch YouTube like that where they listen to Kevin Samuels or Cynthia G every day. I've gone out into the community and actually, if they knew who these people were, they said no. They don't know
That's
what
true.
Best man.
That's true. That is true.
It's just a YouTube thing.
If you check my thing out, you will always people go, who is that? When Kevin Samuels was on, they would go, who is this man?
Right. They have no idea who the YouTube people.
But I'm talking about the people who do list itself. And my thing is, there's no way in God's earth I see a woman that's like, even if I like, I'm just using Cynthia G. Even if I like her, I ain't calling her my godmother.
Right.
I ain't calling her no.
But see, Sugar, I think they do that because they know it eats at women. It's just
when they call Kevin Samuels the Godfather, it eats at women.
Right. Just
they don't eat me up.
But it is. Listen to what you just said.
It doesn't eat me up. I'm just trying to figure out how a bunch of men, is
But that's
going
what
to
I'm
bow
saying.
down to a man and call him Godfather. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Well,
It
those are
don't
those
eat me up.
incels.
I'm not calling him Godfather. Why should it eat me up?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't call them that either. But it's them incels. It's his followers. Like I said, it's like it would be like people like the women calling Cynthia G a queen or something like that because they
Right,
do.
right.
So that would be their deity for them. So for the
That's
brothers,
why.
I guess, but some of these brothers is Kevin Samuel.
That's why I said her first because I'm a woman. I don't care what point and she said. She's the same Cynthia G to me. I don't know. And then Kevin, I'm like, oh, ain't y'all men? Y'all need another man to think for you? The God. I'm like, are y'all serious? I wish I would.
Yeah.
I
But
wish
now,
I
just,
would.
what it is just I guess it's just people who want to hear that rhetoric. They see Kevin Samuels and Cynthia G as their god, and so they give him that homage. So
Let me ask you, bro. I got my own opinions. How do you feel about that stage fake slap Will gave Chris Rock?
I did a video, 2 videos on it. One the night that it happened, and then a couple of days later, I think I did a video saying I was tired of hearing about it.
Thank you.
I can care less about if it was staged or not. It doesn't affect me in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm never talking about black men on on national TV fighting or whatever. That has nothing to do with me.
She says that hyena woman is the queen. It doesn't have nothing to do with my thing is this. What I just said to myself, first of all, he's Willie from Philly. He had to fight, number one. Number two, him and his wife been in and out the news so much. After a while, that get to you. But my thing is, forget about the slap. You see how everybody turned against him? First, he was like Big Willie. And I'm like, damn, that just showed you in life. That just showed you in life.
Who did they turn against?
How quick they turn against you. Even Martin Lawrence. And I'm like, some people I can understand them ganging up, and then people keep saying, well, who he went and slapped. Will Smith, if you go back in the days when he was on Def Jam and they had all them hard bodies up in there, they said Will Smith was a real gangster. They said Will Smith was the ones knocking people out, him and Jazz fighting all the time. And I even showed the clip. Yeah, but he had to suppress that to become Will Smith. That he had to suppress that's why I like, and people that's like Ellen. Ellen, you got the fucking nerves after what everybody said about you. I'm like, damn, the whole Hollywood could turn on you that fast when he was praised yesterday. So if you like that man so much, how you don't like him today? And if you never seen nobody get slapped before or somebody get their ass beat before, you need to leave the earth.
Okay, so you're saying they turned against Will Smith?
Yeah, yes, they did. Everybody did. And I'm like, damn, especially on Ellen's show, he was just on your show, and it was all. I'm like, the man is human. God damn, man is human.
So that's in the real world, because here on YouTube, all the women loved what Will Smith did.
A lot of them didn't. They was appalled. So I guess it's a 50-50 because I haven't seen none yet.
I've seen more that approved of what he did, because they're talking about black women not protected. So I've seen many women here on YouTube, approved of what he did under the guise of that's protecting, a black woman.
All I said is why it didn't bother me, because I seen people get slapped all the time. I mean, like, wow, people get slapped and people get beat up. We see it every day. Do we turn against? If you know your neighbor done beat it up on his wife, how many people will still say hi to that man if you live in that building? We see it all the time. So why we just can't move on? He got slapped, that's it. Oh, this shouldn't have been done that way. That shit. But sometimes them comedians, they do push the limits. And people don't like to be the butt part of the joke all the time. Sometimes they do gotta talk about who he ain't gonna slap. Y'all keep thinking Will Smith ain't good with them hands. But I guess it was his time to be humiliated along with Chris Rock. Chris Rock needed to come up and they needed Will Smith to come down. You know how Hollywood go. But I'm like, We got things going on. Oh, damn, I don't know if I can say this or not. Why I got you. YouTube, forgive me. I'm just asking a question, but we're gonna speak in codes, okay?
All right.
How do you feel about what's going on in UK? And you know the rest of the word.
Oh, with the one person?
The whole Ukraine. I
Oh,
said
Ukraine.
but I said UK for sure because I didn't want you. You know certain things you can't speak on YouTube.
Look, when you said UK, I thought you meant Britain.
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom, right? That's what I thought you meant when you said.
I was trying to shorten it without saying, YouTube police, the YouTube
Yeah,
algorithm police.
Yeah, once again, sugar, I don't even think about it. Only one time I only think about it is when I won't go to fill up my tank. Yeah, that's one time I think. Obviously, if it wasn't for that, but other than that, I don't. It's not on my mind. It's not on my, I don't think about it.
Yeah, but
To be honest with you. So.
You had a good show today. I came in at the half of it because I think I was live, but the shows are getting good, man. They're picking up. It's picking up nice.
Who's that? Who's?
Your page.
I thought you said Kevin Samuels.
No, I like to talk about him because I like for people to say I like what he say, but not everything. Because actually, I like some of the things he say too.
Yeah.
But some people just have to agree with it. I'm like, I never invest myself in a person that much that I got to protect them. Like right now, when this is over, they're gonna send somebody here to check this out and see that we say something about it. I'm gonna see it in my inbox, in my chat. Some of them don't even make it to the chat; it goes straight to spam because you can't say nothing. But I'm like, it got to the point he can have an opinion on whoever calls there. Why can't we have an opinion too?
Right. Yeah.
His job is based off not giving women advice, but giving his opinion.
Right.
So the minute we do it, man, them Samuel people they try to take my page twice.
Or have they? Yeah.
That's why when I wasn't on for a little bit and I switched over to the Tony T.
Right.
Then when I got, and it's crazy, as soon as I got unbanned from that and I fixed that, I finally got monetized back on Tony T, but they won't let me upload a video. Remember, this channel wasn't for the shits and giggles. This channel was for just like that. But I had to combine it because YouTube playing with me.
Well, have you ever heard of Paris Malone?
Paris Malone. I have, but I don't remember who he is.
Yeah, it's a female, and she does divesting. She's a divester. And she flagged my channel. I just got off of my main channel. I just got off of a strike from that one because of a divester coming at me. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, you never know. You wake up, they strike your ass.
Yep.
But you fight them back and let them know. You let them know I was doing commentary on it. Do the back. Cause that's what I did.
Yeah, I did too, but it didn't stop the strike from me.
No, it doesn't stop the strike, but what it does is it stops them from pulling the page.
Well, yeah, I had one more strike. Yeah, because I had two until it fell off. If I had got one more, my page would have been gone too. That's why I went to my backup channel.
Yeah, so that's why. But I have to. People sign up for my other Sugar Love channel. But I was spelling it so fast I ain't paying no mind. But it's SUGAA. Make sure you guys sign up for that, just in case something happened with this. I'll have backup with that.
I think I'm already
on my other Sugar Love page.
I'm gonna do it. I'm typing right now to see.
Hey, you back, Trey?
Yeah, I apologize. This little situation happened. I had to handle. But I told somebody about your channel though, and
thank you.
Hopefully they'll be subscribing.
Yeah,
I wasn't subscribed, but I just did, so you'll see it. You have 100.
But what I would like to see, if like DOD and Trey, I want it to be I want to hear unlike not what these gurus have to say. I believe in modern regular people. I would like for y'all to run the channel one day. even if it's for like 10, 15 minutes, whatever time. And, you know, instead of knocking the sisters, you know, give some pointers. Or do whatever y'all want to do. If y'all want to have mental, because sometimes I've been wanting a man panel for so long.
Well, you know, I would never want to bash or to, you know, take aim at Black women, because I do recognize not only their issues as far as like things that have happened to them, but just like life in general. I see their struggle. I see what they have to go through, and I wouldn't ever want to knock them from that. However, I guess what if I was to get on any panel, what the highlight that I would make is to use your pain, either self-inflicted or inflicted from others, to use your pain as a barometer or as a measuring stick to how a man should in turn give, you know, grace, elegance, love, whatever to you, but it's just one-way street. Then that's the issue that I would combat, because, you know, Black men, you know, one thing I will say, Black women are beautiful, but white men, other races of men, they love to have sex with y'all. They think that y'all fine. But they hate us. They hate us. I mean, they hate Black men. They fear us and they hate us. And sometimes you can feel it. It's almost like the feeling is palpable. You know, it's like it's just like a tension in the air sometimes. Like I supervise construction zones. I'm a project manager for construction zones.
Where you at? Where you at?
I'm in Colorado.
I'm coming out there. And you cook too? I'm coming out there. Okay, DOD, what would you like for your panel to be? You want to feed off him, or you could say what you would like for it to be, and y'all make an agreement?
Well, first I want to hear Trey finish up his thought, and then I'll jump in.
All right.
Finish his thought.
All right.
I would say though, if it's just in return, I would want our community, I would want Black women to see that your role, your place is not in opposition. Your place is not even, sometimes it's not even beside us. Sometimes it's behind us, because we can't protect you if you're beside us. If you're beside us, that means you're fighting with us. That means that I can't have your back and my back at the same time. But now if you're behind me, I can protect you and I can receive the brunt of whatever is coming our way, and, you know, protect you, and then you protect our children, or you protect the kids. I believe that there's an order to things, and that order we have to put things back in order, back in place, because if it doesn't, it gets chaotic and nothing will succeed. That's what I would want.
Now, Trey, in theory, my brother, I hear what you're saying. I feel the same way. But we have Sister Sugar Love up here. She's from, well, I'm not sure how, I'm much older than you are, but her and I are from the same generation, and she agrees with what these young women are doing. So if she agrees with it, and she comes from my generation.
I agree with who?
With these young Black women, they should have their own careers. They don't need to be married. Go do you.
I didn't say I agree with all that.
No, I'm just saying that's what you did. I said you agreed to it.
I agree to all of that.
Sugar, I've heard you say just tonight that these women should go out and get their education if that's what they want to do. Did you not say that? If
that's their passion, yes. But I don't agree with everything.
No. Sugar, again, you're from my generation. Yeah. And even you agree with these women talking about they need to go get their education first. They need to go be boss women first. They don't need
I never said that.
They don't need to clean.
I'm going to rewind the camera. I didn't say that.
Not tonight, but you have said that. you have said those things over your YouTube lifespan. At least recently, I put it that way.
Well, I thought y'all was probably making up a thing. How I get in the middle of this?
Well, no, because I'm trying to make a point. What I'm trying to tell the brother is that because even an older generation woman believes that these young women should do that, you can only imagine how they're being raised by these new generations of mothers.
I get that. I guess how I look at it is I think that the first wave feminism, it kind of had a point as far as having the ability of choice and, giving a woman a choice to do what she wants to do, whatever she wants for her life. But this, third wave feminism, what is done is, they black, kind of teaching the new age women the history of what feminism really did to the community, that black women really never had a problem with the black men in mass. Like, granted, were there issues, certain situations, of course, that's all over the world, but there was never in mass issue with black men until they said, well, we don't, white women said, hey, we're going against the patriarchy. There's no, these men are telling us what to do. Black men never had any power to tell y'all what to do. Black men were still trying to get jobs at the factory and en masse. We were still struggling. So we didn't have a foothold in any type of large system in order to tell you what to do. We were still trying to be men ourselves. Hence why we kind of broke off into, to reclaim our masculinity and gangs and Black Panther and all this other. There's so many things that happened. We did to reclaim our masculinity, reclaim our power, to reclaim some type of power. But that power was even false, because what they did was they used our situations against us, where they start pumping drugs into the community. Now, granted, all that goes into a little tangent, but I'm circling back to say, teaching the younger women, hey, all the stuff that your parents, your grandparents were telling you about black men, most of it were either not true or it was partial information that either absolved them as far as the ladies go, or what it did was it just made it as an easy excuse. And so I think that's what there needs to be: education of black women, especially young black women, an education as to why we are in the position we are. And then maybe if you can educate them, they can potentially see, wow, maybe what my mom said as far as being a strong independent, that you can't rely on the man, that's not necessarily true. She just chose to not rely on the man because they were offering welfare in mass.
Oh no, we're not gonna do that. Change that subject. That's another whole subject. That's another whole system.
But that's a part of part of what's going on.
No. We're gonna change that. We will discuss it on another time. I'm not gonna go there tonight. So then you're gonna make
obviously not tonight. I'm just saying that that's a part of what was going on. So that's when you're talking about the panel, what to talk to about help black women understand. That is a clue, including that education of what happened, a breakdown of what happened to our community to this point. That's what I was talking about.
I did a whole.
It could have been a preview of that. If the panelists you said you want to create over here, that's what men are going to talk about.
I did a whole entire show on that.
I know you have.
Now, if y'all want to talk about it, that's different. We ain't on that panel, but I was talking about bringing us together. I already know our problems. I'm old enough to know where our problems stand, where our problems lie. I walked around that block of many, many moons.
But no, Sugar,
I get that.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, no, I get that. You were just asking what I would say on a panel and what conversations I would have. That's mainly what I would be talking about, to then circle back to how we can change are today by correcting the wrong-headed viewpoints of yesterday.
How
So we
many
can have a better
women?
tomorrow. That's what I was trying to say.
So when y'all want to do this?
You know, I'm free. I'm free anytime, pretty much. So, you know, whenever you guys set it up, I'm good.
Well, I work 65 hours a week. Because
I'm retired.
we just are the state of Colorado just got a $6 billion bill or whatever to restructure the roadways here. So they're doing, CDOT is doing a whole lot of work on these roadways.
I thought you was working for gas. I'm joking.
So that I probably will have a lot of work to do, but I am interested in conversations like this because I do want to see our community thrive. And I would like to see a 180 of sorts to be done on just perspectives and viewpoints that are I won't say toxic because that's too loose of a word, but I would say viewpoints that are stripping each other from the ability to live together, to be together, to procreate together. Don't procreate, but procreate with the man that at least has the decency to give you his last name before you give him a baby. Like these conversations that are so important that is just gone away because how people feel. Feelings are great, but not when it rules over logic.
Well, mine do both. Now, have you heard from the underrated Darkness, DOD?
I've seen him a few days ago.
Oh, he's still here.
Yeah.
I would like for him to be on this panel.
Yeah, he'd be a good one. Yeah, he'd be a good brother.
So if you can get remember, I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah, I'll contact him and see.
It's the men's panel. I'm not going to say nothing. I knew DOD a little bit longer, a lot longer. He's one of my first people on here. So he will be in charge of the, the timing and keeping things in order, if you don't mind, DOD.
No, I don't mind doing that.
Because I'm not going to say nothing. I may say something the next day, but I ain't going to say nothing that day. But I want more panels. I need, if you can get underrated doctors to come on up here, maybe we could try for sometime next week, tomorrow, whatever. But let me know. Leave it in one of my comments and say, "Oh, I got him," or he's free this day, because that'll be 3 of y'all.
I'll email him and ask him what day is good for him.
All right, you still got my email, right?
I think so. Yeah, I do.
All right, so get Troy. I'm tired now. I was messing up names and stuff. I was gonna call him Troy George. Trey.
But you know what though, Sugar? Trey is right, because if you think about it, Kevin Samuel's show, these women, a lot of them will say how they got their education first, and now they're looking for a husband.
Listen, whatever flow people boat.
And he's saying you should have got a husband first.
Listen, it goes both ways. You're gonna be a miserable young mother or a miserable old mother. So what the hell? You're gonna be young, and now you're gonna grow older. I miss my whole childhood, and if you had kids so late, it's like, oh my God, I ain't got enough energy.
Yeah, but there's a system. There's an order to do things for the best. Like Trey said, for the best results, there's an order that should be followed. So
today is Sunday. Yeah, I know it's an order. What I'm saying is that people are so, and you can't win. You can't win. Can't win either way you go. I know a lot of older women, now they want to party. Now, while everybody else kids is 18 and out, now here they go, stop, sit down. And they in their 40s and 50s, they won't be living their life. So it goes vice versa. It's you can't win each way, because it's a consequence for either one you pick, to be a young parent or old parent. It is.
How about being a parent until your children are out, and then you and your husband go do those things?
That's what I'm saying. You have the ones who wait till they're later, the ones who have it when they're younger. they get to have more fun, and then now they get to be them and their husband. But then it's damn, I should have got my education. Now a lot of them going back to get their GED at 40 and 50. Now they're going back to do the things they should have done already because the kids are going. So now they have a void. And then you have the flop side, because I know I have the flop side. I was one age when I had my daughter. I was one age when I had my son. I'm like, damn it, I should have had their ass back to back or something. I ain't got the energy for this little boy. Right. Just it's your body. So when you have it when you was young, but the bad part is, you know, more time, you give the younger one more time than the older one, because at that point you're working, you're bringing money in the house. So like I said, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know, people do what they want to do. You know, somebody had their babies early, and that means certain things that they want to do, their body's not be able to do when they get young. Like,
I understand that, but then the accountability should kick in. Then you can't go out and do something early in your life, and then 10, 15 years down the road, you want to blame it on the man.
I never said that.
I'm not saying you, Sugar Love. I'm saying these other women, like especially on Kevin Samuel's show, they talk about what they had their fun in their 20s, and now they're looking for husbands and children if they don't already have them. And then if they do have them, they can't find the man they want, because the man they want don't want children or, you know, a family already made.
Yeah, but like I said, it still goes to damn if you do and damn if you don't. Damn if you do and damn if you don't. Whichever way you swing it.
Well, these brothers nowadays, they're telling these sisters, hey, we need to get married now, early, and then build up, and then have our family, and then afterwards we together go out and have fun.
See, but the problem with that is, bro, I think that got to be spoken, especially for women. That conversation doesn't serve all women. It depends on your age group. Because at my age group, I know we ain't starting no family. You know?
But what I'm saying is, don't come back 10 years down the road crying about, you know.
No, I'm saying people get relationships. Some people get in relationships older in life. So remember, I got my kids already, so I ain't looking for none right now. But I'm saying though, the way people speak, it goes by your age bracket.
But what I'm saying is, so let me ask you this: did you complain all those years without a man?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I done had a party. You don't know.
Well, this is what I'm saying. But so that's what I'm saying. So, but those who haven't done that, they're always complaining about it.
If they're complaining, they go.
Stop complaining about it. You made just your decision.
Right. That's absolutely true.
Have some accountability. That's all I'm saying.
My thing is something like what he was saying. When you keep doing the same mistakes over and over, the kids suffer.
That's true.
When you're making these babies all around, and now these kids are not bonded, and now you got a bunch of Cain and Abel sons, and then you got these women who having these kids by all these different men. It's the same cycle. Right. That's why I don't blame the man. I don't blame the woman.
I blame them both.
Exactly, because I've seen a lot of rotten apples on both trees, the man tree and a woman tree. A lot of rotten apples.
Because a man can't complain about child support if he straps it up, don't have children, and the sisters can't complain about having children left fatherless.
Yeah, you use our BC.
That's the way I see it. So
you use a BC, and then a lot of these women, I hate to say it, they don't know what they're really looking for.
Right, you're right. That's true.
They don't know what they're looking for, and some men don't either. You know why? Because they never seen it and they never had it, so they research these type of things. But you never lived it, you never seen it. But it's good that you read it in the book, so you decide. Well, traditional and this and that. I'm like, please, what book did you read? Because you never seen it. And the people always, very, very rarely, well, grandma and grandpa, but you don't know if he was faithful to grandma, and you don't know what grandma and grandpa went through. You can't use grandma and grandpa got to tell their own story. You can't tell your story for grandma and grandpa. Because by the time you was born, if they your mother's or your father's mother and father, time you got there, you don't know. That's their story to tell. But you still ain't back then they put up a good front. Oh, I'm like, listen, a lot of these traditional marriages are working. And it's sad, it's because of inflation. You need two income just to live these days.
Yeah, but a lot of the sisters want that brother to make that 100+K, so they don't need two incomes, so she can stay at home. That's what a lot of them want to do. They want to stay at home.
Yeah, so they can make money off YouTube and be their own boss, whatever. But the ones that want to stay home, that what I don't knock that neither. I don't knock it. If that's their calling, that's their calling. God bless them. Me, I have a passionate spirit, and it's so much going on in my area. And God sent me to be with these kids. God sent me to save these kids. Because I could tell when it's meant for me, I have super energy. If it's something that I don't have super energy for, then that God don't want me to do that. He doesn't want me to do that. So I know how my energy level go. He's giving me this energy. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I have unlimited energy. I got so much energy. You want some? You want some? You want some? But if it's not meant for me, I have zero energy, and my body will not accept anybody because I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
But I just think that marriage should be, okay, what you want to do? That what you want to do? This is what I want to do. Now, how do we help each other get there?
Right.
How do we support each other? How do we support each other? Because I think a woman is supposed to be the man's biggest cheerleader. The biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, that's right. And then a man he needs to figure, whatever that woman needs are. But if you ain't cheering him at home, somebody else is. See, we learn differently. We learn if you ain't doing how we learned when we was young. If you don't do it, the next woman going to do it. So that scared women enough to make her want to do it. But now with the side chicks is getting glorified now. The side chicks are getting shows, TV shows. They get books and they getting all these accolades for being a side chick. Which back then that was that was a no-no. That you had to sneak, and that side chick knew her role and shut the F up.
And that's right.
Not no more these days. That could be side man too. That could be the side ninja too. But I can't wait for the men to have a thing. But I just wanted y'all to. That's what he wanted to talk about. I wanted y'all to agree on what things. But if y'all want to keep bringing up different subjects and ping pong off each other, that's fine too.
Well, see, I'm gonna let you know right now, Sugar. That's the way it's gonna be. That's the way we communicate with each other.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna take my face off the screen and just let y'all men talk. Cause you know why? Because I know what y'all gonna say is gonna be delicate, and hopefully the women, because sometimes the women need to hear y'all out. We so stuck into this mofo, this mofo, that we don't hear you guys out.
Right. But then you better choose your panelists wisely. Then
choose what?
Choose your panelists wisely. You chose JT; he's an excellent choice, and Trey as well. I just met the brother tonight, but he definitely sounds reasonable and rational.
Yeah,
so,
I like him.
Yeah,
I like. Yeah. I'm singing Troy Joy.
Now you get some brothers up here, and you know who I'm talking about.
It's going to be just who I said.
Yeah.
So if you can get JT now, maybe JT bring somebody else that because you will be controlling it. So if it get out of hand or whatever, is just I will mute that. If you want me to mute everything, I'll mute everything. But besides that, you're going to be in control, and the men going to just do them.
Okay, like I said, I'm down for it, and I'll contact JT and see what he says. So.
Now I might talk about y'all the next day, but I'm gonna give y'all that day.
Now Tracy, he do 60 an hour, so we have to really get with him to see, what's his schedule is about, what his schedule looks like. So.
Well, maybe he'll come back in tomorrow. But thank you for being here, bro. It
No
was
problem.
a beautiful chat. I just like that everybody agreed, disagree, we agree, and that was it. That's how more of it should be. Because I stopped doing panels because people was going at it. I'm like, damn, look.
Well, see, but you and I, when we had, except for that one time when we were talking about the crack epidemic, you and I, we've always had great conversation. We never really went at each other. We definitely never cussed each other out and all that, or stuff like that. It was always very respectful.
Yeah.
I've always had enjoyable conversations over here with you.
And you know what's so funny? While I was looking for it in the background, you were looking for it in the background. I was like, yeah, I got it out. But
we're doing our research.
We're doing our research, yes. And it's like I said, we both strong personalities, so it's gonna be a disagree to not, but it will never be disrespect.
Right, exactly.
That I don't do. If I get disrespectful, I'm sorry. I can't find you, but we gonna fight.
Yep, I agree with
Hey,
you.
boss lady.
Hey. Did you saw old dry-faced Nature Boy on there trying his best to make up I guess he was trying to make up that he was evil and retarded. But like I told him, Nature Boy, when you told me who you was and that what you was and said what you was, I didn't call you no demon for play. No, you a real demon, and we rebuke you, and we send you back to here's the pill from where you came, and that's what I said, and that's what I meant. He was so mad, he started hollering and screaming, and talking all out of his mind, and he made them girls line up, and he was saying, "Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch."
Oh, he was
Bitch,
live.
Oh yeah, he was mad
So you have
because
for us to go to talk to Nature Boy?
no, baby, hold on, no. I'm letting my sister know that earlier, before she even went live, that I made sure that he know that we are not playing with you, Nancy Boy. You still got to go back where you came from. I've been here the whole time. It's just that I've been in the cut because I've been out the hospital. So, I'll be able to be in the cut sometime. But I was just letting my sister know that, sis, we still got him there. He ain't went nowhere. Still got that foot on that neck.
That is okay, Miss Hollywood.
Yeah, and Nicole's
Well,
exactly.
boss
Nicole
lady,
know what I'm talking about.
Let me ask you a question, boss lady. Are you and I good? Because I always get the feeling that when I come up, you leave. So I want to make sure that we're good.
Do I want? Do I what? No, honey. I don't have anything. You are a wonderful co-host. It's just that I just got out of the hospital recently, and when she started going live, I had used my little bit of leftover hospital energy to go to Walmart with my daughter, so I was tired as hell. So I just been laid back trying to, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I'm here. Sometimes you gotta be in the cut. Sometimes you just gotta let somebody stand in and stand in and stand up. You go, boy.
As long as you and I are good, I'm good. As long as you and I are good.
I told you,
Oh,
boss
never
lady.
had a
Because
problem
I know
with
you're
you.
Sugar's friend, and so I don't want to.
Boy, I told you, boss lady is just gonna be boss lady. I keep telling everybody that.
No, I think you're a great co-host. I love when you come up.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys. Now we out of here for real.
All right, but I was still
All right.
waiting for my waiting last night, and I waited
You
and I
missed
waited
it
and I waited.
today.
I know because I had to wait and I had to wait and because you told me I had to wait for Nicole and them, but me and Miss Rod was here Friday early and we was not late for class. But that's
No.
okay. I got you.
Yeah,
I
but
got you.
that was Thursday today, or whatever.
All right,
day.
ladies, I'm gonna drop off.
All
Y'all
right,
have a good
thank
night.
you, DLD.
All right,
Well,
thank you
either
so
way-
much.
Either
Okay, Bob.
way, a couple of people came through, so I said, okay. A couple of people came through with my little dollar coffee. So
I don't want to hear anything about that because Nicole knows that I was, and me and Miss Rod, we was rating on Friday, and you said, "Oh, I gotta wait on Nicole and Carolyn," and so earlier, I had to do what I got to do. So, I think I deserve me a little waiting, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer.
okay, as I was saying, they gave me a little donation, so I didn't mind taking the copyright strikes, and I didn't mind it not getting.
Oh, you even played it with the music? Oh man.
No, the other one I played with the music that he was dancing.
Okay, well, can I get a little shaky or something? God dang.
Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to bed.
All right. Tomorrow. Yeah, it's the weekend, but I'll push it by luck. But all right, sis, I love you. I love you guys. I love
you,
everybody
boy.
in the chat.
Thanks, Nick, Trey, and everybody else. Miss Rod, everybody is here. Good night.
Good night.
Good morning.